Requesting permission for launch. Yeah. Pro show. Yes, sir. Explaining entertainment, keeping them ahead of the culture. That's right. Go for launch in 3, 2, 1. Here goes, sir. Start the countdown.
He's been cited by IGN, The Quartering, Timcast, The Daily Wire, Bounding into Comics, and even Dr. Jordan B. Peterson.
As the insider WDW Pro recently speculated on.
Time and time again, he's broken big entertainment news live on the air.
I've been following WDW Pro and his track record for years. If you want to find out what's on the horizon for theme parks, Pro is where you go.
He's like the honey badger. He just keeps scooping and scooping and scooping. He's like the honey badger. He just keeps scooping and scooping and scooping. All right. All right. All right. He's like the honey badger. He just keeps scooping and scooping and scooping. All right. All right. He's like the honey badger. All right. All right.
Man, that Pro guy, he got more answers than Corn Pop. I tune in every day right here from the Oval Office. Sniff hair and find out what Pro has to say every day.
Quick, Cheney, we gotta put away the Legos and get in the big boy chair. It's time to listen in to the Pro Show, my favorite show every single day.
I did not have relations with anybody during the Pro Show.
It's Pro. He's gonna be huge.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejados de las puertas. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, in just 2 minutes, the lighting at the Magic Kingdom will dim for the performance of the Pro Show. We hope you enjoy and have a magical, truthful time. For the safety of others, please, no flash photography. And welcome to ProVision 3D.
All right, everyone, put on your opera glasses. I'm going. Shut up now. I'm so excited.
Keep learning, keep growing, and keep having fun. From the redwoods of California to the hills of Tennessee to the Rockies in the Sunshine State and Maine with that bright and shining sea. From coast to coast in North America, it's time for your host with the most, bringing you all the entertainment news that should be fun. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the WDW Pro Show! Vash, it's beautiful. It's just beautiful, Vash. Would you look at it? It's the 200th episode, folks. This is the kind of entertainment you can count on. Look at that hot dog. Look at the double stripe of mustard, and look at that very happy man in that elegant swimsuit. Oh, I feel like Lilo on the beaches of Oahu taking pictures of the locals and the yokels. Vash, you've got a new background, and folks, you were just taking down memory lane. That was the original intro that we ran for the Pro Show so long ago, and I forgot how long it was. Holy moly. That thing takes forever, Vash. How are you, sir?
Well, I think people were lost in nostalgia, bro. But thank you so much for having me on. I can't wait to talk about today's stories, and we have an amazing panel coming up as well.
That's right. Folks, I'm going to click the button. We're going to switch the background. We're going to get it the way it's supposed to be in 3, 2, 1. It's beautiful. All right, and if you missed it, yes, again, it is the 200th episode of the Pro Show, and folks, you made it so. You kept feeding those radioactive hamsters. John Maynor, we see you. We'll get to you in just a minute, and so many of you others out there, your magnanimousness, we'll make that a word, made this possible. All right, let's get them on the screen. Ladies and gentlemen, if you know what I mean, it is Culture Casino and Lauren Connor both here with us. And give me just a second. I'll turn around. There we go. There we go. Now I can see you again, Vash.
Pro, you promised me you weren't going to play that.
What are you talking about?
You promised me. The Pro.
He's beautiful.
I've never been that heavy, dude.
Listen, this is part of the Summer Sizzle celebration, okay? Pedro started it. You're in it. We understand.
I don't feel very sizzly right now.
It's time for my summer sizzle. Cool as a cherry popsicle. And don't hold back, get ready to stun. Fun, fun, fun for everyone.
And we just wiped out any chance of this show having a big audience. In the first few minutes, we played Summer Sizzle, and it's over. It's over, ladies and gentlemen.
Is there anybody in the audience that found that, like, part of the show good?
You have to start sometimes with an appetizer, and sometimes, Culture, it's a palate cleanser. We've cleansed the palate. We're like Beverly at Epcot.
That looked like considerably more than an appetizer. That was like the big kahuna.
It's really big.
The ladies say he's a big catch.
Oh boy.
I won't tell the boss. Hey, Vash. I'll tell the boss though if we don't get those super chats up in time. Let's do it. And Highlander, we see you too. Here we go, Vash.
Absolutely. John Maynor coming in strong with 50 WDW Pro memberships.
Thank you, John Maynard. Let's play your clip, then we'll play another, and then a huge celebration to say thank you to all of you turning the chat from gray to green. When a pirate shares his treasure with you, know that it came at a cost, even from the likes of someone such as Captain John Maynor.
Indeed. And also, too, John Maynor coming in with another $5. Congrats on the 200th episode. Here's looking forward to another 200.
That's right. And if we continue to add these, we'll hit it in no time. Once we get to doing 10 of these shows a week, these will just fly by, these milestones, I tell you.
Yes, indeed. And then Highlander 777 coming in with 50 WDW Pro memberships.
Folks, let's celebrate John Maynor and Highlander 777 together. Big celebration. Here we go.
a blindfolded half-court shot that is now the talk of campus and beyond.
Wow.
Are you kidding me? Did you see it?
Yeah.
Is that on tape?
Yeah.
You are kidding me.
Wow. Wow.
And folks, that's not all of the gifted memberships. We'll get to those right now.
Indeed. Also, too, I want to go ahead and highlight Highlander 777's $5 here. Congratulations on the 200th. Well, thank you very much, kind sir.
And all I can say back to that is, wow.
Wow, indeed. Ken Barnes coming in with the 10 WDW Pro memberships.
Thank you, Cannon Barnes. Greatly appreciated. You know what? Since he's getting a new movie, Cannon, this one's for you. There you go. Needs a biplane.
Indeed. With another 5. Happy 200th Pro Show. Hail all. Glad to be here and celebrate. And as always, Miga now. Well, yeah, I guess you can.
Miga Nana Krista.
Thank you so much, Camp Arts, for that. And then Timothy Kennedy just coming in right now with 10 WDW Pro memberships.
Thank you, Timothy.
1.21 gigawatts! 1.21 gigawatts!
God dang it, from the bottom of our hearts here on the WDW Pro Channel, thank you.
Oh.
Indeed. And also, too, Pro coming in with a $5.
Get me out of there. Come on now. I'm just, listen, I look like a little teeny weeny itsy bitsy part of that, but I had to give back at least a little bit, just a little bit, seeing all of these people being so kind. Thank you, folks. It's going to be a great 200th episode. And already more than 400 of you out there joining us across the X's, the Tickety Talks, the Instagrammies, the Etsy's, and of course, the YouTubes.
Indeed. Whoa! We got some big ones here, bro. First, Simone Garcia with the $49.99.
Hold on a minute, Vash. I have to request, it's in your contract. I need you to turn to page 53, section B. Never say on live TV, Pro, you've got some big ones. It's in the contract. Just
okay.
We had a breach. We had a breach.
we have some amazingly generous people here, Pro. All
right, here we go.
Simone Garcia with the $49.99. I enjoyed the bearded guy on the beach scene. Good airtime. This is for you. Well, thank you so much, Simone.
You know what? Culture, if people love it. Listen, Culture. You had the option to just get your body waxed, to remove all the hair, and then people wouldn't have cared to see this guy living it up on his summer sizzle beach trip. But you don't want to shave yourself for the children's. So you're eating a coney instead on a sandy paradise somewhere. I think I see karma. What do you see?
I see obesity, and I've never been that big. That's what I see.
Folks, can I tell you a secret? I have met Culture in person, and he is a very fit individual. Takes care of his body, eats good food.
Right, that's true.
Yeah.
You got to. You got to be. Andrew Fay with the $199.99. Holy smokes, $200. Your team's dedication to truth and American values is inspiring. You've assembled remarkable talent, ensuring our principles endure. Wish I could give more. I salute your work and toast your next 200 achievements. Keep shining.
Wow. Well, Andrew, we really do appreciate you. And honestly, folks, that is the some of the kindest things we've ever heard. We are trying to safeguard not only American values and traditions, but I would go so far as to say the West. And you could say, well, come on, you're just a YouTube channel doing what you do, and fair enough. But at the same time, you know, the reach continues to grow and grow and grow. And as that growth happens, and we are able to get more and more people on, the aim here is to get to the truth with a capital T, and also remember back that our heroes and our mythos really matter, right? The reason that we loved Star Wars was because it represented something that's bigger than just lightsabers and spaceships. The reason that we cared about Indiana Jones goes past the idea that, oh, we just got to have another indie movie. Please give us another indie movie. No, they were special. And all of these movies have been special. And the things that we find special about them, there's something transcendently important about them that we need to bring back because future generations need those mythos. They need those legends because they point them in a better direction than what we've been doing now. And I'm sorry if our favorite characters and the values they hold, if that's what you're going to use to subvert our expectations, no thank you very much. Guys, any other thoughts on that?
Oh, well said.
I think it's deeply important, and also for the continuation of our society, that we fight against a menace that is only looking to destroy culture rather than build upon it.
I'll tell you this too, Andrew, just to add to that. People think that what we do sometimes is frivolous, right? That it's not worth the time we give it, and we give it a lot of time. I mean, this is a huge undertaking that we have all participated in. The reason we do it is because clearly the other side views this as so important that they have put such resources into capturing, taking away, and destroying the things you love. If they're going to put that kind of effort into it, we're going to outdo them. We're going to out-hustle them to save the stories we love.
I love that.
There's one other thing about it, too, and that is that, as you said, while these things can appear to be frivolous, what they actually gave us was a place to meet with people who aren't like us. And it used to be that you could have conversations about things with people that you didn't know or didn't know very well, or that were diametrically opposed to in all kinds of different ways. But you could share and form community in your shared interests in these places. And when those places become political, there's nowhere to meet anymore, and everything becomes a battleground. That's why it's important to push back on this. There needs to be places where we can come together and learn about each other, and that's one way that you can do it.
That's right.
Well, that and dinner.
Yes, absolutely. I'm always up for good food. and on that note, culture, can I get you a hot dog?
Et tu, Lauren.
Et tu, Lauren.
I'm just amazed. It's actually, it's a little unsettling, but it's kind of amazing that it can be done.
It looks like Culture and Mama June somehow merged together. Culture, I'm so sorry.
That's okay. Apparently, I've got a new bathing suit edition. It's even more rainbowy.
I don't know if it's a bathing suit or a onesie.
Oh.
Part of the reason it works, though, is that you look so happy. You actually look really genuinely happy in that video.
I do like hot dogs, but as you get older, I will say that the nitrates are the problem. So.
Darn the nitrates. That's also what I try to keep out of my aquarium.
That and the and the little bits of flies and stuff. So
I don't know why he's eating it to its side. I just okay.
It's very
There's
strange.
So much wrong with that.
Well, it's more it's more a bread aficionado version of me. That's also apparently infatuated with wearing a ladies' one-piece swimsuit. I don't know.
Well, Mick Spoon coming in with the 1999. Congrats on 200. I've been watching y'all for a year now, and it's felt like a month. Time flies when you're having fun. And again, thank you, Andrew Fay and Mick Spoon, and everybody, for everything that you've given. Thank you.
Mr. Mick Spoon, I just want to say that we're so happy to have you out there in the audience watching. It is not lost on us that part of our job and our responsibility when we are speaking to thousands and thousands of people, and on any given month, we're speaking to millions of people. Part of the job, part of the responsibility is to remember that some days people need to pick me up, and we have to cover the news. And what makes the news? Well, bad news. Bad news makes the news. We want to cover that kind of stuff when we do, with a smile and a chuckle, and we try to make sure that you all walk away feeling better than when you entered the story, even if the story is a little bit of gloom and gray.
Indeed. Back in Protons with the $5. I hear Jonas J. Campbell got called out by the Shredder. When is that match happening?
You know, Jonas has an open invitation. I know he's watching out there. We've told Jonas if he wants to stop by for 5 minutes for the 200th episode, he's welcome to join us. We'd love to have him. And folks, in case you forgot, yes, this is the 200th episode. We're going to play that 57 more times because, darn it, it's as expensive as that wrench we bought that time. You guys remember that giant wrench and how hard it was to get in the studio?
Yeah. I remember trying to get it in with a couple of people around here, and it was tough. It was a lot of work.
Totally worth it. Folks, we wouldn't have 200 episodes if not for our mods out there. And since we spent so much money on the wrench, we'll play this again. What a lot of people don't know is in that clip, that's actually Culture with his shirt off, providing the silhouette. He's in real life really ripped.
I was feeling for that moment that we were, going to mourn somebody on a funeral pyre. Could you have made that a more depressing clip that honors?
Well, Culture, Lorne. Well, we actually prepared it a different way because Lorne was going to be the one to carry the wrench up on the mountain. But in all of that electric storm, we were a little worried about losing Lorne, so you went up there without your shirt on and. We had the funerary music ready to go, but you know what? God loves you, Culture, apparently. God just loves you.
Oh, boy, I hope. I feel blessed to be here today, but I was not going to miss episode 200 for anything. I'm surprised Jonas is missing it. What is wrong with
What is wrong with him? Honestly. We've been wondering this for years now.
Yeah.
Packing Protons with the $5. I won't do my Cobra Cast show early. Ending super here tonight. Congrats on 2,000.
Oh, thank you.
2,000, ladies and gentlemen. It just keeps growing and growing and growing. We're happy in knowing that Packing Protons clearly has confidence in our ability for sticking around power.
Well, he did correct with the another $2. 200. Well. Type faster than I think.
Hey, just was wondering, is this an out-of-season April Fool's joke?
Yes.
How dare you, Packing? We were excited to have unknowingly reached 2,000, and you took it away. You took it away.
Comes in here with another $10. Seen on FB. We go inside Disney's Imagineering Lab to get an up-close demo of the omnidirectional holotile floor and other robotic inventions coming soon to the theme parks.
Yeah, no, okay, I'm not going to step into this drama. Packing, I know what you're trying to do. Actually, Packing may not know what I'm talking about at all. There is drama out there, Canadians. There's drama, I tell you. Not Dramamine, but there's drama surrounding the Imagineering situation where some of the folks out there, some of your favorite Disney personalities and commentators, they are defending Disney Imagineering and saying that they're doing a good job, and then others out there are at their throats. We will not get into it here on this show, folks. You're not going to drag us into that one. We're not going to be fooled into it. Nay, I say. We're not going into the punditry drama that is, unless Culture wants to.
No, it's fine.
Okay, we're not going to do it.
I mean, the quality of workmanship speaks for itself, so ain't no drama there. Just observations. Tom F, member for 10 months. Congrats on the major milestone, Pro and crew.
No.
Thank you so much, Tom. And you said it even before we played the clip, before we played that giant wrench.
Indeed. And then Timothy Kennedy coming in here with the $10. Happy 200. May your future grant you a tenfold blessing.
Folks, we've got decades and decades left in the can. We're not going anywhere. The Holly Weirds don't understand how we do it, but we do it because of you. So yes, we've got a long way to go and plenty of time to get there.
Indeed.
That's not quite the words to that.
I looked it up before. It's on Wikipedia. I trust everything they say. That's definitely the lyrics.
Okay.
Yep.
Nick Allanen with the $5. Food for the gigawatts.
There you go, folks. Get the gigawatts ready. Why? Because you all keep us going steady.
1.21 gigawatts! 1.21 gigawatts!
Big Blue Horses with the $4.99. Thank you for all you do. Glad to be able to contribute and participate. Best wishes and God bless. Shine the light and be who you are.
We try, and we try to keep the trolls away.
Go fund yourself, Bob.
Except for that one.
Indeed. And then Gilliam II coming in here with the $50. Thank you so much. Can't believe it. It's only been 200. So used to having you all around during work. You feel like coworkers that have been around forever. Congrats on the milestone.
Well, let me tell you, if you want a great coworker, Lorne is the man you need. Lorne, indeed, is the person you would want to have at your workplace. So we're happy to share him with the rest of the world. We're happy to put him out there so that you all can get to enjoy him. Me, Culture, Vash, we're just the dressing on the side. We're just the ornamentation. It's all about Lorne.
True.
Lorne, I feel like you're befuddled.
You're up to something.
No, I would never.
Never.
Why would you think that I would be up to something? I treat everyone with kindness.
Yeah,
Vash,
because
get off the screen.
Because I saw the other message from Packing Protons. What are you guys up to?
Oh, I haven't seen that yet. What did Packing say?
He didn't say anything.
Oh, that's not good.
Maybe not good at all.
Yep.
JPS member for 8 months. Happy 200th.
Thank you so much, JPS. We're happy to have you out there, and congrats on being a member for 8 months. Looking forward to getting you across that 1-year line and getting that new loyalty badge.
Yes.
Indeed. Wolf Cloud with the $5. Congrats with a Z on 200.
Well, congrats to you too, Wolf Cloud. You're a part of this, folks. It is a team effort here, and we can say that with confidence.
Roger P. becoming a new member at the potential level.
Happy to have you, Roger. Welcome aboard.
Welcome aboard indeed. Ken Reinhardt with the $5. Happy 200. I hate how my anxiety disorder lingers after the triggering events are largely solved. I'll keep with meds and will return to snide remarks.
Well, Ken, a lot of folks out there deal with all sorts of issues and things. Never think that the grass is completely green on the other side. Everybody has stuff they're dealing with, and we're happy to walk you through the path to a better place wherever and wherever we can.
Indeed.
Thank you for the snidery.
Thank you. Backing Protons with another $5. Bro, for Lorne, check your Tweety. He was a little too happy with culture.
Packing, we've been over this before. You can't call X the Tweety. You can't tell people to check their Tweety. Do you understand? We're trying to run a very mature show here. We're trying to keep it out of that kind of guttural humor. Stop telling people on the panel to check their Tweeties.
It's time for my summer sizzle. Cool as a cherry popsicle.
Stop it. Get some help.
Hey, man, get some help. All right, Vash, we got to get 1 or 2 more super chats, and then we've got to hit the news, sir. Even though it's the 200th, we cannot lose the news, for that is what we do right here on the channel.
Timothy Kennedy coming in here with a $10. Lorne, keep the words et tu brute. Andy.
Brute.
Did you just say et tu brute?
That's
by Fabergé.
The fury. The cultured fury of these two men right now. Listen, Vash, you have stepped on their Latin class, and they can't stand it.
That's how it was spelled. I was just reading it how it was spelled. Sorry.
I was waiting for a fragrance commercial.
I thought this was a quote from Halo.
Hey, et tu brute.
Hey, et tu brute, man. You stabbing me in the back. What are you doing there, man?
Yeah. What's the matter, eh?
Hey.
If only I was a thinking heretic for $2. Happy 200th.
Hey,
that's a darn good segue.
I
he
saw
got himself out of that.
Thinking Heretic dropped a super chat right at the end of my stream today. I brought it up on the screen, but I didn't get a chance to read it. I just wanted to say thank you, Thinking Heretic. I think anybody who's thinking is got a shot at life. That's what I think. And people that pronounce Latin correctly also have a shot in life.
Now, Vash, there's one more super chat we need to get to, and let's put that up on the screen, sir. I don't want to leave the yellows. You know what I mean? I don't want to leave the yellows.
That's fine. O2RR with the $10. Congratulations on your 200th episode. Glad to have found your channel. Keep up the great work. I'm heading down to Orlando tomorrow, by the way, to enjoy Epic Universe.
Well, we'll be in close proximity, O2RR, and we're happy to have you down in the Sunshine State. And I'm going to make my way over to some Disney stuff, but love Epic Universe, but I will not be there this weekend.
Sad face indeed. Mary Vita with the $10. I told Marvin earlier that I found you all with the Snow Brown Review Now Pro World channels are 85% of my viewing. Congrats on the milestone, and thank you for all the news that should be fun.
Thank you, Maravita. And it truly, we believe this, a rising tide lifts all boats. And so whether it's the Pro Channel or whether Culture Casino goes trending, whether it's Valiant Renegade or, maybe it's Midnight's Edge, maybe it's Lorne Connor, whoever, that Park Place, whoever is doing well at the moment, we celebrate it because it's an opportunity to get the truth out there. We never forget that there are many of you, there are many of us, and we're trying our best to make sure that the mainstream majority gets their say. Because again, we are many.
The power of one. The power of two. The power of many.
No! No!
Now, ascend, my son.
That is correct. And I heard that, they wanted to class up this joint and be mature. I saw that on the YouTube channel, and when I was about to listen to see what was going on, and I thought, whoa, if they're going mature, I should probably jump in on that and, do the troll report. There's things going on around the world, and people are dying. It's kind of funny. So there's this one time that I was like, whoa, that makes sense. That's clearly exactly what you think it is. Culture on a Friday night with everything going on. And when we say everything, yep.
Bingo. I'm so sorry, Culture. I fed the troll.
Apparently so. But somebody invited Kevin DePaul to the party as well.
Hey, Kevin!
Hey, boys. And Too Brute over here.
Yeah, and can we just listen? We're going to make fun of Vash all night, okay? And Vash, this time you earned a little bit, but no, little troll.
What?
Could you possibly look down in the bottom left of your screen? Just look over there.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Weetone. Weetone from Floral from Under a Rock is here with us. Happy to have you, Weetone.
Hey, sometimes you gotta have that accent, Sometimes because word on the street is I have a little bit of Canadian in me, so you gotta kind of pull out the French,
Yeah, I just dropped you down a peg. All right. Maybe you live in Winnipeg. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna get started with the latest, and we've got news to cover. Wilton, or should I say Weetone?
Yeah.
We love you so much, Weetone. But could we get perhaps Steve for a moment to cover this very important news?
Fine.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Here we go.
He'll be back.
He'll be back.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get to the news because that's what this show does. We've got some bad news. I don't want to cover the bad news yet. We'll come back to the bad news in a little bit, but first we'll hit something that is making the waves out there, and I think that this is the way we should start the 200th episode. Yes, thank you, Culture, for doing the wave. And darn you, Kevin and Lauren, for not participating. If you've ever been to a stadium, you know what you're supposed to do. And when you wave enough, Steve shows up. Steve, welcome.
Hi.
All right, folks, let's get to this next item, or actually the first item up on the list today. All right, take a look at this. It's out of Entertainment Weekly. It says Pedro Pascal, Daniel Radcliffe, also known as Former Harry, Sabrina Carpenter, and more demand funding for LGBTQ+. And we're not going to say this next part. You can read it, folks. In fact, we basically don't need to tell you what the reason is. that they want money because it's unnecessary right now for what I'm going to make a point about. This is by Shania Russell. It says an open letter signed by more than 100 celebrities come amid reports of planned budget cuts by the Trump administration. Now, folks, if you're just listening, let me just tell you, it's in the vein that you would expect from Pedro Pascal. And I'm not trying to say that this thing they're trying to save is a bad thing, because clearly I'm on the side of young people being healthy, and I want people to be mentally healthy, okay? So we're not going to touch that. I'm going to demonstrate to you why these celebrities are full of bumpkus. Totally. They went to Red Lobster for all-you-can-eat bumpkus. Pedro Pascal, Daniel Radcliffe, Sabrina Carpenter, and Ariana Grande herself, the one woman who should never touch a balloon, are among more than 100 celebrities who are speaking out against the Trump administration's plan to cut something. In an open letter published Monday by the nonprofit organization The Trevor Project, the stars are calling for the protection of $50 million in federal funding to maintain the life-saving mental programs. Says we are heartbroken by the proposal to eliminate this thing. All right, pause there, folks. Pause there. I have run the math, and this is very complicated math. I need you all to hang with me. If you have an abacus, get it out now, unless you're driving, in which case, pull over to the side of the road and then get the abacus that I know you have in the glove compartment out. This is going to matter. 100 celebrities signed this document. They need $50 million to save the program. They want you, they want me, they want every taxpayer in America to save it. But my math says that if all 100 of these celebrities give up a measly, itty-bitty little $500,000, which for them is pocket change they find under the couch when they too are searching for their abacus, well, they would be able to fund this without taxpayers having to do so. And I can hear you out there, detractors, saying, celebrities can't fund every single thing. They have to do this. They have to get out there and they have to ratchet up the volume and they have to get the protests going. They have to organize. I get it, okay? I'm simply saying that if the celebrities came out and said, you know what? We love this program. And we, the 100 celebrities, we are willing to fund this for 1 year while we fight for it. I think that would go over much better. Kevin, I'll go to you first. Kevin, is that what Pedro should do as he continues his marketing campaign for Fantastic Four? Should he put that $500,000 up on the table and say, I believe in this so much that I will put $500K, maybe that's one episode of The Mandalorian, to save the day for a cause I believe in?
Absolutely. Put your money where your mouth is. Stop making the American taxpayer the bank of everybody else. The nothing is free. Taxpayer donation money just means you've taken money from someone who works hard for a living and gave it to something else without that person's permission. So these guys are loaded. They'd get a massive tax write-off for it. Just do it. Show everybody that you mean what you're talking about. There is no one on the planet who's going to disagree with you. Yes, the mental health of our teens is very important. We have seen it plummet over the last 10 years. We can sit down and really dig deep and get to the root of why. But mental health in this country is taking a deep dive. So yes, we do have to do things to kind of help these young people kind of dig themselves out of a hole and realize that it does get better. But I'm tired of being lectured by people who have the means to do so, and it'll be nothing but a mere inconvenience.
Yeah, and listen, we're not trying to get on this and tell you that this is a bad cause. I don't think it is. No. I think this is a great cause. So you for those out there who want to hate on us, you're gonna have to pick another day, because we're here to say, at least I'm totally for this. I just think the celebrities who have the means to pay for it, like Kevin was saying, just put it up there. Save it yourselves. And then when you say to us, next year, the feds should pay for it, we'll believe you. This smells to me, and Culture, I guess we'll go to you. Culture, this smells to me a little bit like what we had with Selena Gomez, where she cried and and I'm sure it was authentic. But she cried and she said, "If not the children."
Well, first and foremost, your thoughts are my own, which is that if you have a bunch of celebrities, a cause to celeb would be something like the fire relief and all these other things out there. The fire relief, nobody's yet to show where that $100 million plus went. Charities of this type and these fundraisers of these stripes don't seem to actually yield benefit to the people that they intend to. Oftentimes, the cost of overseeing these things seem to be almost equal to what the money is that they bring in. Now, that's of course a little hyperbole by me, but I oftentimes think that you should just give directly to the people that need it most. And it would seem to me that the Los Angeles County, in the case of the fires, or in this particular case, when it comes to these youth, I think you should provide direct relief to these situations. You should provide direct relief directly to the people that are manning these hotlines or womaning these hotlines. I mean, I don't want to be super sexist, but the point being is this money should go directly to a source and not be administered by a bunch of people that are going to gobble up the money. This is the problem that I have with a lot of these efforts. What I think is great are these efforts, because to be fair, one of the things that, as I know, because I have done and do volunteer work, is they need time and people. They need people to go and donate their time to do these things. Why aren't these stars promoting that? Why aren't they a part of that? Why aren't they talking about that? I mean, are the people that are going to be manning this, are they not volunteering? Are they expecting to be paid? This is a bigger conversation. I think that any kind of preventative effort should be endorsed and supported. And as was already brought up, I mean, this is an opportunity to not only promote your cause, the celeb, and participate in it, which will generate even more support for it, by the way. If you're in the act of helping to defeat some of these situations where people are wanting to no longer be with us, then, you should be praised for that. But the problem is just in the manner of which they're pursuing these. You can demand more funding for these things, but as celebrities, you have more funding than the people around you. I'm sorry. Not only is it a tax write-off, as it has already been suggested, I think that you should participate, because you put your time into the things that you value. The money is just money.
Culture,
And-
you've become inappropriately cynical about giving money ever since you gave that vast fortune to the TV preacher who turned out to be in a relationship with the hockey player. All right? It was just, listen, it was a bad call on your part. That's the way it goes sometimes, okay?
That's true. It's true,
Yeah.
but it's not unmerited, Pro. Like you said, I'm not above, or I don't think it's a bad idea to give money towards causes you believe in. I think you just put your money where your mouth is.
The hard part is guys like Pedro, they can't stretch the data enough.
Could you say his name one more time, Steve? Because
Pedro.
No. I'm just saying that
I don't care enough about him to really know how to say his name. I'm not going to lie. I was trying to make a pun and say that he can't stretch the data enough, and that once he gets the actual information, it's going to club him. But
I just thought that the nauseousness. Yeah, we're making that word up too. The nauseousness you said Pedro with. I just thought, man, he's got some contempt for that guy.
Oh, I really do. I'm not going to lie. I can't stand him.
Do you realize that contempt is what ends marriages, Steve?
I'm not married to him. That's the good
okay.
news. Yeah.
That's good news.
But no, in all seriousness though, I wonder what would happen if they fund getting kids help, right? And actually follow the data. That would be interesting. I
think it would be at odds with their political positions.
Oh, it absolutely would.
Yeah.
But we're looking. They want to actually stop, or in theory, they're saying they want to help students and youth. If they really do want to, then they would do the thing that would be most beneficial, and that would mean actually going against their position. So, it comes down to: do you want to do the right thing? Or do you want to be ideological? again, I don't think that's necessarily the goal of this conversation, because I think the heart is, what's this going to do for all of these franchises that these guys are connected to? As we've seen overall, when it comes to all these kinds of conversations right now with major businesses, a lot of them are stepping away from all of these conversations. So now you're seeing it being pushed by individuals, which, I'm not going to lie, I would rather see that than entire corporations embracing one ideology, if you will. And I think that's going to be healthier for the customer base in general, because by and large, when people support this stuff, or corporations support this stuff, people's hearts really aren't there. People tend to operate in opposition to it. And that's why when we see the companies that push this stuff, like entertainment companies, and they push it into their films, people don't go to these things. I disagree with you, Culture, in that money is just money. Where people's wallet is where their heart is. If they're not really willing to fund it themselves, they don't actually believe in it.
I fully agree with you, but as you also understand, if the people who put their time,
time is money as well. I get that, especially if you have a lot of money. Right.
Also, I've just learned that my uncle's heart is truly in Spam and Vienna sausages.
Yeah, but I think the direct comparison too would be someone like Elon Musk, who just did the whole Doge thing, right? He actually believed in what he did, and from what I understand, he didn't take any money, and if he did, it was very little, at least compared to what he accomplished. And so that says a lot too, right?
Steve, you're Canadian, right?
Yeah, we don't understand money.
You just praised Elon Musk and Doge, is that correct?
Well, he's Canadian.
Well, I'm just making sure that you need to go bar the door now. If you need to step away to go protect yourself, I understand.
Oh,
they're listening. Hey, let me go to Lauren for a minute though, because I'm a little bit cynical. I know Culture has rubbed off on me now, but I'm a little cynical, and I'll tell you why. Folks, notice when this was published, June 2nd. Notice what June 2nd was. The first Monday of the month of June, which is now the Hallowed full page on the calendar in which we celebrate the rainbow stuff. Moms get one day, dads get one day, veterans get one day, but by golly, bedroom issues get you an entire month.
I don't think that's true. I think Pedro is out there trying to promote men's health. This is Men's Health Awareness Month, and I think we should all be out there promoting that. I think this is an effort to try to prevent men from having poor mental health and doing very bad things.
Well, what if I said that I think that this might have been a PR campaign for these people. I think that on the first Monday that all of these celebrities, the first Monday of the month of June, all of these celebrities suddenly having a cause du jour where they all sign on and say, we got to save this thing, but we're not putting a dime or a dollar towards it ourselves. But you taxpayers across America, you save it. They did it on a Monday, the first Monday of the month of June. And I just look at that and say, maybe they're not quite as virtuous as they would wish for us to believe. Lauren, have I become too cynical?
Well, I don't know if any of these people have donated to these causes or not. My suspicion is that they're asking other people to gin up. I don't know. I don't care about that. What I do care about is that I think a mistake that we make whenever you have a cause like this is we use dollars as a shorthand. If there's dollars, then obviously we're solving a problem. And that's not how it works. Money does not fix the problem, especially in a situation like this. Culture hit the nail absolutely on the head. And I think it's because he's been consuming all of those hot dogs. I think it has improved his mental ability to get to the root of a problem.
Nitrates.
Let's say that you're one of these people that is in one of these dire situations that they're trying to help or prevent somebody from doing something irreversible. What those people need is a person. They need somebody to be there, to believe in them, to act as a mentor. And if these people really wanted to make a difference in these people's lives, they could be there as a mentor. Now that requires a level of commitment that they may not be able to make, and that's not a moral judgment on them. Everybody has their own commitments that they have to deal with. Not everybody can do that, but I guarantee you, putting in the effort to show up and appear to some of these people, talk to them, would be something that can get somebody out of the frame of mind that nobody cares about me and the world would be better off were I not here. That's not a good mental frame to be in. And when somebody who is perceived as being important, powerful, when they take the time out of their day to show up and show these people, you matter to me, that does something that I think a dollar never can. Obviously, you need money to support these kind of programs. But when you try and mandate this kind of thing, it just becomes a tax, and everybody resents taxes. It doesn't matter why you're taxing. If people aren't lining up to do it out of the goodness of their own hearts, if you're mandating it, you're making an assumption about what somebody's budget can absorb, and you don't know how other people are living. That's why, in my opinion, no matter what the tax is, even if it is a cause that you support, you should vote against it. Because if it's important enough and enough people believe in it, they will cause the tax to be passed. And if they believe it and support it enough, you don't need the tax because they will contribute towards the cause. So I think looking at this as a dollars thing is the exact wrong way to look at it. Culture's right. It's about time.
And look, that goes for any social program. I know I'm going to get hate for this, but I believe that to be the truth, and I have my entire life, and probably because I'm more libertarian than I am anything else. But if you want something to be successful, where did social programs come from before the government decided to tax us all into oblivion in 1918? It came from the churches. Do you know how I know that? I'm a member of a church, and charity comes directly from my particular faith and from my church itself, the people that are in the congregation. But if you set that all aside, I'm going to give you an example, a human, as an example of somebody who I admire very much. His name's Johnny Depp, and he was taken down a very cold trail through a judicial nightmare that he didn't deserve by somebody who just turned out to be a lesser human being. But that's not this part of the story I want to tell. I want to tell you about the guy that actually plays a character called Jack Sparrow. He goes to children's hospitals as Jack Sparrow. He has a box that's called the Jack in a Box, which is actually a regular plastic container that you would use to put your Christmas decorations away in. And he becomes Jack Sparrow for these kids that are struggling from whatever it is. These people are performers. They're of whatever shade they are. I don't really care. The people they reached out to, right? Some people may look up to them. Their time is incredibly valuable. And this is even to add more to what Lauren was saying, in that they can inspire change by showing up there and being something that these people may already admire, and giving them hope and a path forward, and maybe more pleasant thoughts than what has been in their head for quite some time. And they can be properly instructed, because look, when you work in these kinds of areas of mental health, you need a little bit of instruction from somebody, but they can get that training, go in and do more value with that time than they ever could with money. And again, thank you for supporting me, Lauren, but you and I are thinking the same way. And I think Steve probably does too.
So. Well, let's go to somebody that we need to pick his brain now. Vash, we go to you last. Give us your final thoughts on this particular topic. And what do you say about these celebrities who want taxpayers to pay, but may not be willing to put either their time or their dime on the issue?
Yeah, I think forcing others to join in this kind of a collectivized group effort, basically from gunpoint via taxes to fund some of these organizations, causes, and so forth, I don't think is the way to go. Me personally, even if it's a cause that you truly do believe in, let's go ahead and assume, for just the sake of argument here, that this is a something worth funding. Well, the government is like the worst like edifice that you can use, or method or means to fund something like this. So it's just from a purely, I don't know, pragmatic view of how government funds certain operations and how much of that funding actually reaches the cause or goal that is espoused to be achieved. It's just not very an efficient method in my estimation right here. So yeah, I agree that the celebrities themselves, well, they should probably go and fund these things directly with direct donations rather than having it to work its way through the taxpayer system.
Go fund it yourself, folks. That's what we're saying to the celebrities. And maybe I'm just a cynic. Maybe I've just, I've gotten to that place where I cannot trace the joy and the clouds and the blue skies and the sunshine anymore. But when I see a bunch of celebrities suddenly have signatures on a paper that they'll probably never follow after this, that comes out on the second day of June, I just say, well, I smell a PR campaign. I smell a PR. But you know what? At least they're better than this person.
I did do and say horrible, regrettable things.
That indeed. All right, Vash, let's get to the super chats. We've got a bunch, and then don't go anywhere, folks, because good Lord, do we have a story for you. It's Star Wars related. I know many of you out there say, what could there possibly be that's Star Wars related? They've destroyed it. Well, hang tight, folks. We have one, and it is of immense value to you.
Indeed. Roger P with $2 and no message. Thank you so much, Roger P, for that.
Thank you, Roger. What, Steve, what are you doing?
Uh-oh. Not good.
We lost Steve. Earthquake, Canada. I told him that they were going to come to the door. I told him. He defended Elon in Canada. That is a federal offense over there. He might as well be a trucker.
Arrow Stone, member for 13 months. Happy 200th. God bless you all.
Thank you, Arrowstone, and God bless you. Arrowstone, I apologize on the delay there. It was because I saw this guy in the background. You turned him in, didn't you?
Mistakes happened.
You turned him in, didn't you?
Turned what in?
You turned in Steve. He defended Elon on Canadian soil. You turned him into the authorities, didn't you?
I absolutely would. I'm not going to lie.
Would. Yeah. Would equals did. We know what you did.
You got to try. You got to do what you got to do.
Keep him coming, Vash.
Indeed. Auto MedTech with the $4.99. Happy 200th to the best sounding voices on YouTube.
Well, thank you. I know that everyone's jealous of mine.
Not you.
Oh.
My voice is a little echoey tonight, but thank you.
You sound like you're in a bathroom.
Yeah, there's a lack of furniture, I will say. Tony Michael Atkins with the $4.99. In case anyone needs a good laugh, Disney Plus has put Echo back on the platform.
Tori, thank you for letting us know. Yeah, I'm sure the ratings are going to be wonderful for Echo. And it's only appropriate that Echo would come back.
Yeah, and it's appropriate that I would read that super chat when talking about Echo. So thank you so much, Tori, for that. Packing Protons with the $5. Pro Wilton will like your image I sent. Also, special edition Culture.
Oh, well, listen.
What did you say?
Having seen what you sent earlier with Culture eating the hot dog, my heart is warmed at the idea.
Well, now I want to see.
Culture, you're muted. We'd love to hear your insight, but you're mutified.
I was just going to say it's probably full of nitrates and fly bits and other things, but sure.
That's how the sausage gets made.
It looks like we're playing volleyball.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Don't you like to play volleyball?
I do. I love sand volleyball.
Sand volleyball, not beach volleyball.
Beach volleyball's fine too. It doesn't matter where it's played. It's on sand.
Make sure you get the pronunciation right on this one, Vash. It's French.
It's coarse, it's rough, it's irritating, and it gets everywhere.
I see. Sacruz with the $1.19. $5 for Walton.
No. It's in French. It's in French, Vash.
We Sacruz. Like that?
No.
Wow. For Vuitton.
You are one pathetic loser. All right, it's
Wow.
for Vuitton. It says look
What is going on?
Vash, I don't know if you know the magic of the show, but you can reach through the frame and choke that little troll if you need to.
I dare you to try it. I dare you.
I don't need to try, Wilton. I just do. All right, let's go ahead and see. Butter Biscuit 92 with the $5. So you remember my laundry list of personal problems and tragedies. Well, my best friend's mother died Saturday. I just want a week without tragedy. I do.
Butter Biscuit. When it rains, sometimes it pours. There are times in life when you just can't find the light. And in those times, when bad things just keep happening, what you need to do is hang close to a friend. Find a way to get through the tough times. Sunshine will come back. You will get to the other side of this, but there are difficult places. And in those times, you just have to trust in the fact that it's going to get better. Stick with it. Hang on to the people you love, and take note of the beautiful things where you can find them. I think there's a book out there that an entire chapter deals with that. And the chapter's name is Pet the Cat. So when you get the chance to do a kind thing or accept a kind thing or find beauty in the hard times, it really matters to partake in that. Wilton, you going to try to destroy that moment of philosophical depth? I just feel like you're going to say something and just take it all away. You going to do it?
I was just going to say, don't stub your toe.
He's also fixating his hatred on Vash. Ever since he got kicked from the panel, he's just staring at him. It's kind of
no. I'm okay.
it's a
So
little
here's the thing.
unsettling.
This is looking at Vash. This is looking at Pro.
Would you blink?
Yeah.
For the love of all things good in this world, blink, man.
Yeah.
Oh, if I blinked, that would mean I was lying about things.
Ah, I see.
I learned that from the
indeed.
behavioral panel.
You think
guys.
we can play Butter Biscuits clip there, bro? Just for old time's sake.
You want Butter Biscuits? Let's play Butter Biscuits. Let's put him on the show. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, it's one for the butter.
This sunny side up sort of day. Hooray!
That makes me want to dance.
I saw a very disturbing picture of Lorne as Scarlet Joe as Black Widow. I've had enough internet for the day.
So have I.
I haven't.
Very much appreciate that. Caveat ties with the $2. Abacus, cadabacus.
That's right. If you want to make math magic, that's one way to do it.
Indeed. Timothy Kennedy with the $10. My vote is for all 100 actors to have their incomes garnished to fund this fund.
Sounds
fun to fund the fund.
Parsley or
no, not that kind of garnish.
It's another kind of
it's like when you don't pay your taxes and then Carney comes to your house and takes all your money.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but he doesn't pay taxes either.
It's fine. It just comes and garnishes you.
Garnishes me.
You know, Wilton, we let you come on just for the super chat. Steve is really the star of these nighttime shows. And you're slowing us down, Wilton. You're slowing us. We got so many super chats, and every time.
You've given me specific instructions to irritate Vash, and so now I'm living out my purpose.
Oh, was that in the message? I maybe.
Staccato, yes. Gifting 50 WDW Pro memberships.
Thank you, Staccato. Shout out to you, sir. There you go. And he's dancing.
Indeed. Pro's dancing with another 5 memberships. Thank you so much for that. Timothy Kennedy with the $20. Here's to the wisdom of both the hot dog guru, Culture Casino, and Lauren.
Who's the hot dog guru?
Apparently that's me.
Filter.
Timothy, thank you for the 20. Greatly appreciated. Thank you so much. All right,
Richard
moving
James.
right along.
Richard James with the $5. Happy 200th. You all are appreciated beyond words.
Oh, thank you.
We really appreciate you, RJ, and hope you're doing well, honestly.
See, now every time I see Richard James's name, I want to say that famous line. I think it was from Living Color. I'm Rick James. Okay, anyway.
I think you had an internet stutter there.
I did, because that other word wasn't coming out of my mouth.
I think it was Spell
Jonas
Show.
would get mad at you.
Highlander 777 with the $10. In Catholicism, we are asked to give our time, talent, and treasure, whichever gift we have been granted by God, so as to help our fellow man. May explain why most don't.
Yes.
Or won't.
That's right.
Yeah.
Take a look at the resources we have, folks. Time is one of them. And if you're not willing to give your time, you have to question whether or not you really care about the thing that you say that you're devoted to.
And speaking of that, that's why Culture said that he actually has to go right now.
Culture has to leave right now, as in right this moment?
Yeah.
Soonish.
Well, Culture, before you go then, could you tell the composer, the famous video game composer, Marty O'Donnell out there, who's getting ready to make a political run, he for $199, I don't know if you remember the Gregorian chants and the electric guitar solo of Halo 1 and Halo 2.
I do.
That's right. This is the... Well, I was worried about a copyright strike, and then he missed the
I
note.
missed the other note.
That's
Yeah.
right. All right. Well,
several notes, actually.
We're
Stop
tossing you into the covenant. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Marty O'Donnell says, why should I be on your show? Culture, explain to our good friend Marty out there, why would he want to come on such a crazy, zany show, which, by the way, the daytime shows are more serious and maybe more bereft of Wilton.
Yeah, no, I mean, evenings are a little loosey-goosey, but I'll say this. You would be among friends and people who appreciate video games as an art form and celebrate them, so much so that, I partnered with That Park Place, one of our sister channels, in order to make a video game channel. We have deep love for that, but on top of that, I think you'd have a good time. It is very intellectual here when Wilton's not here. And, Vash is, a great host for any show that he hosts, which is this one as well. So there you are.
There you go. We'd love to have you, Mr. O'Donnell. And yes, we do have sticky nades in the back room. Just please don't throw them and hit the warthog on the other side of Blood Gulch.
And look, underneath the couch, I have a stash of grape soda.
Oh, it's a marathon of puns here, folks. A marathon of video game references and puns so deep you can't possibly get to the bottom of it. All right, folks, we're going to say goodbye to Culture Casino. Culture, it's been a great joy having you. I hate that you can't be here for the next segment because I think you would love it, but I know you're going to a great show. Tell the folks out there about what you're up to.
Look, I'm going to a place where this show could obviously redirect. I'll be hanging out with my pal Comics, who I also started a show with. And look, I just wanted to say I'm glad to be here for 200 of these shows. And I hope I do another 200 more. And I just want to say thanks. And I'm amongst friends, and I'm the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
All right, Lou, get out of here, you. All right. Folks, let's head to the next news item. And we're going to be going into video games and Star Wars. So how's that for you? Ladies and gentlemen, get ready, because Star Wars is truly beyond the grave. Take a look at this. Out of Dexerto.com by Nathan Warby. Fortnite hits lowest player count in 2 years despite huge Star Wars collab. Is this in conjunction? Is it a function of being attached to Star Wars? Well, we'll explain right now. Fortnite's player count has plummeted to its lowest in 2 years, despite being in the middle of its biggest Star Wars crossover to date. While other multiplayer games have struggled to keep fans coming back, such as X-Defiant or even Call of Duty at times, Fortnite has managed to maintain its popularity for years. Epic's ever-changing Battle Royale has enjoyed a healthy player count since it arrived in 2017. One of the main reasons for this is its ability to reinvent itself with every major update, adding new features and POIs to discover. Some might say those are points of interest. But as you'd expect in any game that is constantly evolving with new seasons and crossovers, not all eras or eras are as popular as others. Now, despite, let's change that preposition, shall we, being in the middle of a huge Star Wars collaboration, the Fortnite player count is at its lowest point since 2023. Might I disagree with you, Dexerto, and say perhaps it's because it's attached to Star Wars? And might I say that the reason I think that it's linked is because people no longer, especially the generation playing Fortnite, they don't have any connection with Star Wars. The last time we had anything that was a hit with Star Wars was season 2 of The Mandalorian. That's been years ago. These kids have grown up. And the stuff that is out there for Star Wars today is not making them say, oh, I got to get on Fortnite right now. I got to get me some Star Wars. I got to play as Rey some more. Lauren, what do you say? Is Star Wars such a damaged franchise at this point that when it becomes the big season push for Fortnite, that nobody's interested? They don't light up when they hear Star Wars anymore.
Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment. The problem is that for the generation that's going to be playing Fortnite, they're going to see it as being something that old people are into, or they're going to see it as being extremely uncool, which you don't want to be associated with when you're in the age group that's the target audience. I think it'll be interesting to see what the numbers do when the event is over. That'll give you a better indicator of whether Star Wars is the problem. But there's no doubt that it's certainly not the draw that it was. It does not have the cultural impact that it should have, and that's because they've damaged it to a degree that it cannot recover from, short of a reboot.
Let me take it one step beyond, Lorne. Disney paid $1 billion to get into the stock of Epic, to essentially have some control. They get their own mode that's supposed to be coming out in the years to come. But part of this is they need to get their franchises relevant again. Now, so people understand, the video game industry is something like 14 times the size as the cinema scene. Okay, so for example, when Disney is number one at the box office, that's great, that's dandy, whatever. Video games are 14 times bigger than theatrical releases as an industry. So Disney needs to be in gaming, but they destroyed all of their gaming. So the way to get back in was through Epic, through Fortnite. And here's the problem, Lorne. They buy it, and just like we see so many times, they break it because they forced, well, maybe worked with, quote unquote, Epic and Fortnite to make sure that this was going to be the big Star Wars season. They need Star Wars to be relevant. The problem is it's so unpopular right now that doing this pulls down the interest in Fortnite overall.
Well, I mean, here's the really amazing thing to me is that what Fortnite was doing for the event was actually focusing on the classic characters, which might have worked had they done it years ago. Now they have damaged it so badly that it does not matter. The smart thing for Disney to do in this case is kind of what I would recommend for them in their other storytelling efforts. They should be licensing it out. That reduces the risk that of their investment costs. They just collect the licensing fees and allow somebody who cares about the property to do something with it. But Disney is constitutionally unable to do so because they want it to tie to their canon. And as long as they continue doing that, they will not recover. They've got to get over it. And if they don't, they can just plan to bury this franchise. It's already got one foot in the grave. I don't know that it can be revived short of rejecting their sequel trilogy, decanonizing it, anything that was attached to it, and allowing third parties for a time at least to begin rebuilding the foundation. And even then, failing the generational capture, it's probably too little too late.
There's another issue that I feel like is not being tapped into. In the same way that Disney and Hollywood in general has an issue with just kind of rehashing the same old, and not being creative with what they do have. It was this time last year that Star Wars was in Fortnite. Usually Fortnite has a lot more creativity. They'll bring in other franchises. They'll bring in and like, so when you have the opportunity to have Batman, Captain America, Luke Skywalker, all these different characters, Mad Max, like all these different kinds of things going on, that creates the diversity, and that's like the appeal of Fortnite. It's that Ready Player One kind of thing going on. You get to be whatever character you want. And we're just seeing, though, the rehash of the Disney stuff, and that's always going to pull away from the fan base. Now, the other thing is, I was at a funeral today for someone that was connected to my church, and so I saw that some of the grandkids were there, so I just thought, you know what, I'm going to connect with them. They looked really bored, so I spoke with the son or the grandson of the lady from my church. And so we're talking, and I'm like, so are you bored and all this kind of stuff? And he's like, yeah. I was like, so what do you like to do? And he's like, well, the way I don't get bored is I like to play Fortnite. I'm like, oh, okay. So he's then telling me about Fortnite. I'm like, so what's your favorite gun? And I'm expecting him to start going into, or what's your favorite current gun to use right now? And I expected him to use, say, one of the blasters that's going on in Battle Royale. The other side of that is, he then responded and said, oh, I like the double barrel shotgun and using the sniper. And I'm like, what? And he's not playing the battle royale. He's playing reload right now, which is a whole other game mode. And so he's disinterested in playing the stuff that has all the Disney. He just wants to play Fortnite for what Fortnite was. Like for me, like, so I'm not trying to shamelessly plug, but every Friday we do Fortnite Friday. This season has not been appealing to even me, really. I mean, I've been super busy with other stuff, but normally, like, I would just play Fortnite throughout the week just to make sure that I'm on my game. I really just don't care right now because it's the Disney stuff. When it was Marvel, I actually did care a little bit more because it was a little bit more creative. But like, I've been waiting to buy the Superman suit forever. Like, I want that skin. I want to be Superman. But it hasn't been in the shop. They've had like a bunch of Batman variations. They've had Wonder Woman. They've had all these other characters. But I'm like, I want Superman. I know they're probably waiting. I hope they're waiting. I hope that's what's going on, is they're waiting for July. But they're just recycling the Disney stuff, and no one wants it. The way you would get a boost in Fortnite is if they start busting out the Disney princesses. So if you got Belle and Snow White and Ariel and all of them blasting each other to bits, you might have something. But again, that's just going to be a short spurt. You're not going to really thrive. So those are my few cents.
Absolutely. Let me go to Kevin real quick. Kevin, we've got someone getting ready to hop on in just a moment that I think will excite individuals out there listening in, if they have any knowledge of the video game industry. But that said, Kevin, when it comes to Fortnite and Star Wars, I'm thinking back to some of the some of the lesser events in Fortnite. The Ninja Turtles collab. It was just pizza boxes dropping down and Ninja Turtle blimps and whatever, and people loved it. The Avatar stuff, where you could use the powers of the Avatar. You had the water abilities and the wind. People enjoyed that, minus the Earth ability. It was a complete waste. But anyway, Kevin, how is it that Star Wars, once the biggest franchise on the planet, releases on Fortnite at Disney's behest, and nobody says, oh, I got to mess around with that? How can that be at this point?
Because it was at Disney's behest. The public didn't want it. Disney wanted it. Disney's run our beloved evergreen IP into the ground, and they just won't let her go on to the other side. Star Wars is like a Charlton Heston Omega Man-esque zombie just wandering the streets moaning and hoping someone pays attention to it. And it's really sad. I mean, it's sad. She's more than dead, Jim.
Well, it's not something that we take joy in, I'll tell you that. And I will say, as we get ready to bring on our next guest, it's not just in gaming that Star Wars is struggling so badly. Tony Gilroy is coming out there, and the articles, folks, some of these headlines, we can't read them for technical reasons on YouTube. Mm-hmm. But Tony Gilroy is coming out and saying that Disney streaming, the difference in season 1 and season 2. Season 1, they took it seriously. Season 2, Disney basically said to them, you know what? This whole Star Wars streaming thing's not working. And we'll come back to that article another time. Before we do, though, folks, I want to bring on a true legend in the gaming industry, someone who I would say has made the music that still you listen to in your dreams all across the nation. Please welcome the man who gave us Sticky Nades and Blood Gulch and a pistol that was the best ever. Marty O'Donnell is here. Sir, welcome aboard. Now, if you can do that with the electric guitar, if you can vocally do that with the guitar, that's when we'll...
Okay.
And he does.
So,
Marty, welcome aboard, sir.
What the heck is this show? You guys, you're talking about video games that I'm not even on until now. Like, how is that even possible?
Now, for those out there,
you know nothing about video games.
ladies and gentlemen, we had planned to have Marty on a one of the daytime shows when we're very serious.
Yes,
but Marty said, "You guys need me for this conversation." I said,
"Yes, I did."
When Marty says he'll come on, you say, "Yes, please." Marty, tell us what you think about this situation with Fortnite, and then I guess we'll get into a bit of your background. Just
before I do that, so give me just a tiny bit of background here. What the heck am I looking at? Pro, you obviously have a face for radio. Is that true?
Well, so Marty, when the channel takes off and you're an off-camera person, sometimes you don't fiddle with the buttons anymore. You just say, you know what? When the plane is flying, don't mess around with it too much.
And see, it looks like Kevin. Kevin, is that actually your name?
Yes.
Okay, well, see, it's good to know that there are some people who go on the internet like me who are not always anonymous. I mean, Pro here won't even show his actual face. Like, what sort of weak ass thing is that, by the way?
I do want to say too that I question whether or not Kevin has real peepaw power. What it means.
Marty, have you met Wilton? Because I sense that there's some familial stuff going on here.
Who's Wilton?
And this little troll puppet that occasionally appears.
Oh, I saw him earlier. Is that right?
Yeah, we got
okay.
deep cut jokes on this channel. Deep cut jokes.
No, trust me. I am trying to catch up with all the in jokes, and I'm so far behind. I'll never make it. So I'm just jumping in to see what.
Think of it like Mystery Science Theater meets Space Ghost, and all of it has had a little bit of acid tossed in.
Okay,
Marty
that's my people. That's good.
There you go. Marty, for folks out there who don't know, you're the composer behind the Halo series.
Yes.
When Bungie was actually good.
And Destiny 1, by the way.
And Destiny 1.
Paul McCartney.
Were you back in the Marathon days as well?
No, I came right after Marathon. Myth 1, Myth 2, Soul Blighter, Oni, and then Halo.
Well, Marty, I'll tell you, to the degree of which we're fans here on the channel of the Halo series and what you did there, I still gather friends together for, they're not LAN parties anymore because it doesn't work that way, but we actually get into a physical place together and play, 4v4, 6v6, whatever, on the original Halo and Halo 2 maps. They're still unmatched. It's still wonderful stuff.
Well, if you can, I would recommend everybody get a 360, throw your Xbox One away and get the 360 and get the original discs for Halo 1, 2, 3, ODST, and Reach, and play nothing but those, and you'll have the best time.
And I can say with assurance, although we have never met before, Marty,
yes,
he plays with a Duke controller.
Oh, that's
only.
true. You are correct. I play with the Duke.
I still remember those things. Oh, man, the Duke. All right, Marty, as someone who is actually an expert in the gaming industry, so Fortnite is struggling, and they've got a big IP attached to it, big crossover. Disney now largely integrated with Fortnite, and it's become sort of this place for Disney IPs to find extra life with the next gen, with the new generation.
So I know you want to keep talking about current crap here, but Pro.
Take me to Pac-Man, Marty. Take me there.
No. Well, tell me, what is this WDW? Are you associated with Disney in some way? What does Disney have to do with your thing?
Marty, they would like to divorce us somehow, I'm sure, but
okay.
we covered Disney probably at least 50% of the time. And originally this channel was one that was more focused on Disney. As time has gone on and the reach has gotten larger, we've broadened that out into just more or less pop culture.
Okay. Well, as someone who knows what it's like to have a big corporation take your baby and crush it into a nothing ball, the Paramount Halo TV show made by the wonderful people at the giant corporation Microsoft. By the way, Microsoft I've sued Microsoft. I've settled with them. They would probably love to continue suing me. Maybe they'll sue you guys now that I've been on your show, which is
I'm expecting you to do the soundtrack for the next Overwatch 3. I can't wait for it, frankly.
That could happen. Yeah. The idea that beloved franchises get trashed by idiot corporations who have no idea what they're doing is no new thing. So it doesn't surprise me at all that whoever was, I used to know all the guys at Epic, and I there was a point in time, let's say 15, 20 years ago, during what I would consider the golden age of game development, where a lot of us knew each other. The developers knew each other. I was friends with Cliffy B, and I knew the other guys at Epic and the Doom guys, and BioWare, you name it. And it's just like those golden days are gone, and the suits and the business dudes who have no concept of what entertainment is have just I don't know. They've just driven so many of these franchises into the ground. It's really sad to see. So that's where I'm at. None of this surprises me.
They've corporatized it, and they've taken the creativity out of it.
Yeah, and the fans know that because the fans are rejecting it. That's why if sales are going down, it's because the fans are like, this is not what we came for. This is not what we wanted. This is not what we're used to. The fans are not idiots. The fans know what they like. If I feel like Nintendo is maybe the only big publisher corporation platform that still kind of understands its fans. Now, unless this rumor about the new cast of Zelda live action film, if that's true, then Nintendo's lost it also. So,
well, in their defense, we've looked into it. We don't believe that one's true. So,
good. Tell me that it's not true, because all I tweeted today was Zelda's a princess, not a prince. That's all I said.
Yes, I saw that.
Clarifying. And it was just a clarifying. That's all it was. And I got some pushback from people who were like, really, I'm obviously a transphobe by saying that. And I'm like, didn't I just state an actual fact? Zelda,
one would think,
is a princess, not a prince. That's all I said. I said nothing about anything.
Well, you confused them because there's a misprint in an instruction guide from 1993 that instead of calling it the Triforce, called it the Transforce. They were completely
that's
confused.
What it was. Okay,
yes.
I got it out. Yeah.
So, Marty, one of the things that I look at sometimes.
No, seriously, did you actually debunk that? That's a rumor. Is that what that is?
So the website that we run, thatparkplace.com, looked into this, and we came up with some answers there that looks like, no, they're not actually going to do that, and Nintendo would not have it. In fact, Marty, here's what really happened. I'll go a little deeper.
You have an entire empire that I'm not aware of. Okay, I'm going to get to know who you are.
Welcome to our side, Marty. Welcome to the
dark
Walt.
side. What is this? Okay,
the Walt. Right. No, I can't. Marty,
you've heard of the dark web. That's what this is.
Okay.
So Marty, what actually happened there? Is it Hunter Schafer? Is that the name of the person?
Yes, Hunter.
Okay, because when I first heard the name, I thought
found out about
Elijah.
them like yesterday. So that's
Okay, so Hunter Schafer's PR team, the PR firm, apparently leaked that out. That's what we looked into.
Okay,
I don't want to say that definitively because you never know, but very high probability they leaked that out to try to get publicity. So, Marty, one of the things that I've been looking into in terms of the gaming industry, especially, is what has driven the AAA games to be in the place they are. And partly what may be happening is that the resources, especially the human resources necessary to create a AAA game today, are so vastly different than they were 20 years ago. What was the size of the team just after Microsoft bought Bungie and got exclusivity for the original OG Xbox? How big was the team working on that versus what a studio needs today to deliver, something that something along the lines of Fortnite, for example?
All right. Well, I'm not going to talk about Fortnite. I'm going to talk about the original Halo team that was bought by Microsoft in 2000. It was about 32 of us. That's the team that made Halo. Now, the team that just made Clair Obscur Expedition 33, believe it or not, is about 31 or 32 people.
And the graphics there are phenomenal.
So all I'm saying is, what am I saying? Actually, I'm saying that there's a problem because by the time I left Bungie 10 years ago, I don't know if you heard about this, but I left Bungie at a certain point.
It was a pleasant departure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It was all friends.
Like Gina Carano,
Yeah,
slowly
exactly.
and happily walking away from Star Wars.
So I think the Bungie team had grown to like 600 or something, and I think by the time Destiny 2 shipped, Bungie was up around 1,200 people. The Fortnite team is over 1,000. The world, Blizzard is 2,000 something for World of Warcraft, and all these teams are in the thousands. AAA titles. Now, I take issue with the concept of AAA. AAA is I think it's dead. These AAA teams do not know how to make AAA games. If a team like Clair Obscur, which was 32 people or 35 people, whatever it is, it's not more than 40 people. If they can make a game like that, there's something wrong with the industry that thinks that they need that many people. So I think we're about to see a big correction, and Epic might be on the verge of it. The good thing about Epic is that they are sort of farming out their tools. Obviously, Unreal 5 is part of Epic's, what they sell to people. So many people are using Unreal 5 to make games. So Epic is going to be fine no matter what happens with Fortnite. But there are other games being made inside the Fortnite universe that can be made with very small teams. And some of these games are pretty cool. You can have a team of like 8, 9, 10 people and make a game inside the Fortnite universe and sell it inside there. And I think that's a pretty cool thing. So I can't fault Epic for trying lots of different things, but these giant quote unquote AAA games that need 1,000, 1,200 people, that's just, I think that's unworkable. There's something wrong with the business model, and it's going to die. It's dying right as we look at it.
I think that it's in comparison on the Hollywood level, right? Godzilla -1, in contrast to the rest of like Marvel, right? So you're seeing how
absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, these movies that are just nothing but CG fests and one superhero after another, like people are just getting tired of it. I mean, there's nothing you can do with CG that wows people anymore. Movie makers have stopped thinking that story, character development, emotional attachment with the audience is important, and the audiences are leaving. They just don't care. You can't do the smoke and mirrors trick with computer graphics anymore. That's my opinion. I'm very opinionated, as you can tell.
Can I ask your opinion quickly on the Sonic movie soundtracks? Because those
you can ask it, but I've never seen them. I've never seen them.
Okay,
So I have no idea.
then you're better off.
I'm useless
for the soundtrack, at least.
Good. I keep my ears very sensitively closed to things that might, affect me in some negative way.
Musically, just think generic superhero trash with no inspiring elements from all of the video games that came before.
I mean, look at the classic movies that you can sing the theme. You remember as soon as you hear the theme, you know what it is. Is there a single Marvel movie? Sorry. I met
the Avengers theme.
Avengers theme.
Was that the Avengers theme? Well, I guess it didn't affect me. But I know Stanley. I think Stanley was a great guy. I have no problem with him, other than he screwed all of his creatives. But that's another story. I love the Marvel universe, but I feel like so many of the Marvel movies ended up with like incredibly generic movie scores that just were what I call cotton candy scores. They're just like really flavorful and amazing, and it's all gestural. What we call gestural music. Like they're gestures that are big, but there's nothing of substance that you remember. You don't take away anything with those. Not like the old John Williams themes or Lord of the Rings or some of the classics. So that's me. Like I said, I'm very critical, and I don't hold back now. Now that I'm going into politics, why should I hold back on entertainment? So there you go.
Well, Lauren's been trying to get in. Lauren, get your thoughts into Mr. O'Donnell, please.
Well, one of the things that I'm kind of excited about seeing the AAA space begin to stumble is that you're seeing a lot of the creatives that were responsible for these big franchises go off and start their own studios. And there's an increased amount of attention being paid to the AA space. And so I kind of see the industry possibly renewing itself through that. Smaller teams, smaller games, but focused on the entertaining part, which is what used to make these big franchises work. I just wanted to get your opinion on that.
You've hit the nail on the head. Let me just tell you, I'm in the middle of writing a book along with running for Congress. And I was talking to the guys who were helping me with the book. And the thing about Microsoft from day one, when I first met the Microsoft dudes, the suits in 2000. So we're talking, oh my gosh, that's a quarter century ago. Oh my gosh. The thing I could tell immediately is that nobody at Microsoft in the suit level, the C-suite level, actually had a clue about what entertainment was. They do not know what entertainment is, and they've proven that they don't know what entertainment is. And the fundamental truth about video games is video games are just another form of entertainment. And if they don't entertain, they will not last. And if you don't understand what entertainment is, you will not succeed. So I agree with you. I think that the contraction in the video game industry and the team size and is a really, really healthy thing. And the teams that truly understand how to entertain their audience are going to succeed. And it doesn't look like it's going to happen. I think Sony is struggling. Microsoft is for sure struggling. The people at Microsoft never understood anything about entertainment. They thought video games, literally, believe it or not, I can say this because I did. I talked to Steve Jobs way back in the day, 1999. He understood that we were making entertainment. He wasn't able to afford to buy Bungie. Bill Gates and company came in and bought Bungie. We were excited about the Xbox, but realized immediately that those guys didn't understand what entertainment was. So they caught a tiger by its tail. They had lightning in a bottle. They released Halo, but they never understood what we were making for them. And they proved themselves by taking it after we left. They destroyed the Halo universe, in my opinion. I think I have to say that contractually for some reason. But because they don't understand entertainment, I have very little hope for the future of how Microsoft's going to do. But they've published things like Ori and the Blind Forest, and these are small teams. Once again, Ori and the Blind Forest and the sequel is made by a team of 20 people, spread around the internet, and they made just a beautiful game that's entertaining. So I think the AA space, even what we call triple I, the indies that are like at a level of production, triple I, I guess that's a term that never caught on. AA, I think, is a good term. I think that's where the future is going to lie. And it's in the developers' hands, not the publishers, and certainly not Sony, Microsoft. Those are Ubisoft and EA. These guys they've lost the plot. They've forgotten what it was that got them to where they are. And their only hope is to the developers that have small teams that are creative and care about their fans. So there is hope. There's hope for the future, is a term I like to use. And it could come. I think it will come back. I think there's a major shift happening in the game industry. So let's see what happens.
Marty, let me ask you about AI.
This is why I needed to be in this conversation. I'm listening to you guys. It's like, what do you got? You're the blind leading the blind. You need somebody like me to help you out.
We are happy to have Prophet Marty here to lead us through the library. Marty, the question for you is
why I was fired, right? Do you understand why I probably was?
Listen, we love you, Marty. We're happy to have you. And again, the notes you made are playing in our dreams at night. Marty, the question I have for you is about AI. Elon Musk is saying he's going to start or has started a gaming company that's going to use AI. We've seen the thing where it uses the original Doom, and the AI is smart enough to create room after room after room when you go into it. What are your thoughts about the future of gaming in terms of, everybody's afraid AI is going to take their jobs because it's going to take the coding, it's going to make the graphics, it's going to do the art. Do you see it as an existential threat, or is it some extra level that we go to, or is it a non-factor in gaming in the next 5 years, let's say?
All right. So let me make an analog to when I started in the music business. So way long before games. Any of you here in the music business at all? Kevin looks like he's a music guy. No, Steve, somebody.
I was a worship pastor for a while.
Okay,
he plays kazoo, Marty. Don't listen to him.
and I make stupid songs, so I do that.
Well, that's good. So when the digital sampling came into the music business, we were still recording on analog tape. So this goes back. We're talking early 80s. So this is before any of you were born. But digital instruments came in, and digital sampling was the new hotness. The first thing that really took over in the early 80s were digital drums, the Linn drum, the drumulator. And we all kind of, us cheapos, us guys who couldn't afford to hire all live musicians, were so excited that we could start producing tracks with these digital drum machines. And you know what? Those things sounded pretty dang good. And we were hearing them on pop music. We were hearing in rock and roll records. We were hearing them being used. So we felt okay. And then after a few years of using those, I remember I hired a drummer to play on one of my sessions. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's right. It's so much better to have a real drummer. And it's sort of hard to explain why it's better, but it just is. And I think the same thing was with AI. There's going to be a period of time where AI is this tool that a bunch of people use, and it seems extremely useful. And some people are going to be out of work for a while, but eventually, and this is my hope, I can't predict for sure, but eventually I think real human beings being really creative is going to be the missing piece. And when you experience something with real humans being part of the creative process, you're going to say, yeah, that's better. I like that better than this AI generated crap that just is close to good, but not that great. If you want something really great, you need real humans. And I think smart people who are in the game business or any of the businesses, movies or TV, are going to take AI as another tool, just like I still use digital recording and software. And there's amazing things you can do with technology that you couldn't do, 10 years ago or 20 years ago or 30 years ago. So I'm not a Luddite, although I pretend to be one at times. But with every new advancement in technology, at some point you realized, oh, I left something behind that's really important. And it always takes you a while to realize what you left behind. So at some point, we're going to realize what AI is not doing for us. And as creative people, we have to be watching for that. It's up to us. It's not up to the audience. What's going to happen is the audience will say, yeah, we don't like the stuff anymore. It's all, it's boring. It's samey. It's mediocre. It's something about it is not going. Believe it or not, how things sell is a scorecard for creative people. Like, you can be as creative as you want, but if you can't sell the thing you're creating, it's not necessarily means that what you're doing is bad. But if you never sell anything, you're probably in the wrong business. That's all I would say.
Right. Yeah.
So at some point, you look at how are things selling. It gives you an indication of what you're making. And when people stop buying it, it's going to be an indicator. And I think that's what's going to happen with AI. AI is going to be the cool new thing that it's exciting to people. It's like, oh, look, I can make my own Doom game by saying, make Doom game on Mars with, green. And it does. And you're like, look what I made. And it's like, yeah, you didn't make shit. You didn't make anything.
So Marty, you're talking about
who owns what you just did. Nobody owns that. You can't even make money on it. Like, it's just everybody can do it, which means nobody can do it.
Right. It takes the special out.
If everybody's super, no one will be.
There you go.
Yeah.
Now, Lauren, are you needing to exit, or are you good for sticking around for a little bit longer?
I need to drop, unfortunately. I hate to leave in the middle of the conversation.
Well, see, I wish I got to know you guys better, because I don't know what any of you do. I have not been a part of this community here. So
come back. We're here all the time.
Just before you leave, tell me what's your deal? What's your deal?
That's okay. I don't know
He's
if I
a
should
geriatric specialist.
Tell us what you do around here, Lauren. What is it? He's like the Jordan Schlansky of this show.
I'm primarily the Star Wars guy here. So when we do Star Wars or
Oh.
Lucasfilm news, I tend to be the guy that we go to. I'm also involved with a couple other people on the channel for a segment that we do that is the Genre Guys, where we do movie reviews, but it tends to be older stuff, things that are considered classics, or maybe things that should have been classics that you didn't know about. And we try and do things that we think, if you don't like what's in,
I should be on your channel. Like, are you going to talk about Casablanca, or is that too classic?
we actually did it already.
Do it
But
again.
I mean, we'd
How about
love to.
Ben-Hur? How about the Cinerama version of Ben-Hur, the full with the screen that goes in wide and curved? I saw that when I was a kid. So
If you want to come on the Genre Guys, you got a standing invite. I think that'd be
my
great. to
dad
have
was a
somebody
film
who's-
director, and I'm a huge film buff, so I would love to talk about film.
Well, your dad might know one of the guys we have then on Genre Guys, but we'll leave that for another time. Lauren, thank you for being here. I want to get you out when we can. Lauren, appreciate it, man.
Yep, you bet. Have a good time, guys. I'll see y'all real soon.
That's right.
Thank you, Lauren.
Marty, we're going to go to Super Chats in just a minute. And
Sorry.
because the folks
I'm
out
screwing.
there-
I screwed up your entire plan. I'm sure.
No.
By
Listen,
the way, there's some vodka maybe in this glass, so I'm having a good time. So
it's an unidentified substance. Marty, you're the only guest I think we've ever had where the producer was going to contact you and you just bypassed all of that. But we're happy to have you. Marty, so the way this is going to work is people have super chatted in their questions for you. We'll come to those in just a minute. Vash is
before
collecting
you do
those.
that, like super chats is I've been on a couple of shows where super chats happen, and they never share the super chats money with me. Like that, but you're going to. Is that right? Is that what I heard?
We're going to send it to you in Whataburger coupons. You're going to love it. Marty, okay, here's the question for you, though. You were just talking about selling something. You've got to sell a product, right? And if you're not selling, then maybe you're in the wrong business. All right, you have just switched genres, if you will, since we just mentioned Genre Guys. You are now in the political sphere. You're a politico extraordinaire.
Yes.
Marty, what are you selling that you decided you needed to be in this instead of in gaming now? And how is it that a game composer, one of the most famous game composers out there, managed to decide, I'm going to do this political thing. I'm going to play that game instead?
Well, I met some of the political people and some of the congressional people, and I'm like, not only could I do that, I could do that so much better. Here's the deal. Do you actually want lawyers to be making law? Lawyers don't even speak the English language. So when we talk about diversity of ideas or diversity in general, here's the thing. I promise, I make this political vow to you and my constituents. I promise to be the best composer in Congress. How's that?
You better
I think
do
you're
it.
in.
Okay, it's a bit of a low bar. I understand that. No, but to be serious, I've been a political animal my whole life. I'm a conservative. I'm a Christian. I have strong moral values. I have strong opinions. I am so frustrated with what I see happening in Washington, D.C. Power needs to come back to the states. Not that the states are that much better, but at least there's 50 of them rather than one mega bloated.
Can you make it 51?
We could. Who's the 51st? You want it?
Says the
Puerto Rico?
Canadian.
The Canadian. Yes, absolutely. I'd even be willing to split Canada up into like 3 states. And we'll never bring Quebec could just go to France. So
We're
that's-
trying to convince Steve to move to Alberta just so he has a chance.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, but in all seriousness, I'm going to take this very seriously. My daughter has a nonprofit organization in Las Vegas, and she's serviced over 10,000 children in Las Vegas. And sometimes she needs some political help. And I just asked her how I could help, and ended up getting connected with people who said, Marty, we would like you to run for Congress and get rid of Susie Lee, who is a horrible Democrat hack in my district. And I happen to be living here, and I'm like, yeah, what can I do to get rid of her? And they say, you're the person who needs to run against her. So at this moment, that's why I'm doing it, because we need, look at the division of Republicans and Democrats in Congress right now in the House of Representatives. It's such a small margin. If Trump loses in the midterms, all the potential progress and all the progress he's made is going to go away. And I can't abide that happening. So that's really the main reason I'm running. I've been a conservative. I mean, you guys don't even know how old I am, but I've been a conservative since I was 9 years old when I saw Barry Goldwater introduced to the world by Ronald Reagan. And believe it or not, I went to my mom after watching that on TV and I said, "Mom, I'm a conservative." And she was like, "What's wrong with my son?" But from that moment on, I've been a conservative. But at the same time, I've been a creative musician with long hair in rock bands. And I was always the sort of, wait, what? Like, people never understood that someone who looked like a person in a rock band would actually have conservative intellectual ideology. But I've met William F. Buckley when I was in grad school. I'm a fan of, F.A. Hayek and Milton Friedman, and Thomas Sowell is one of my favorites. I just, all the conservatives are my favorite people. So I want to go to Washington and be a disruptor. And there's a whole bunch of disruptors already there in the Trump administration. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't want to miss that. I want to join in and be part of the reinforcements that help make this actually happen.
So then can you do me a favor when you're doing a speech?
Yes.
Can you also bring up a cello? So when you're like
I
saying
could.
something, because the moment you add the music,
yeah, sure.
Yeah, like you can change everything. Like make
That's right.
But see, here's the other thing, and I totally agree. I don't know if you guys know who Andrew Clavin is, but he's one of my favorite guys. He's a creative guy. He's a Christian guy. He's funny. He's deep. He's intellectual. But he understands the power of storytelling. It's like the author C.S. Lewis did a lot of apologetics for Christianity. And at some point late in his life, he realized, and trust me, C.S. Lewis is already dead by the time he's my age. So yeah, there
You
you
look
go.
good though, Marty. You look good on that note.
There you go.
You don't look dead. That's a positive.
It's the drink.
That's right. Preservatives.
But C.S. Lewis realized that you can't argue people into the kingdom. And that's when he wrote the Chronicles of Narnia. And as an 8-year-old, I remember reading Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. And that was a hugely impactful is a horrible word, but it made a big impact on my life. And it was the story of Aslan and the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe that hit me, even though I didn't know everything that it was talking about. But stories, Lord of the Rings, Lewis and Tolkien were friends, close friends. My dad did a documentary on C.S. Lewis, 40, 50 years ago. I forget when this was, 40 years ago. So the creative side, people who are actually creative, artistic individuals just don't go into politics. So I'm one of these crazy weirdo people where I should be at the part of my life where I'm retiring, I feel drawn to go into this cesspool called politics, because I really believe that storytellers and creative people and that intellectual, creative diversity needs to be added into the mix. Like, listen, I have friends who are lawyers. Of course, I have a lot of enemies who are lawyers too, but lawyers and business people are not, and especially people who are normally drawn to politics, believe it or not, are people in their 30s who are like, I really need a gig. I need a job. And they see going into Congress as a career. Believe it or not, because I'm one of these guys who sued Bungie and sued Microsoft and won all these lawsuits, I don't need to do squat when it comes to career. I could just say, as I am right now, I'm in my second home in Santa Barbara right now, taking a break. I could just say, yeah, that's it. I'm going to sip margaritas on the beach and that's it. But I still feel called to do something positive, and we'll see. Like, I don't know if it's possible to make any kind of difference in Washington, D.C., but I've been there 3 times now in the last year. And if there's a place that needs something different, it's Washington, D.C. And for sure, I'm going to be different. So,
well, Marty, we would love to see you there, and you would be you would definitely be up there in terms of change makers, I believe.
So, hey, all you people who are going to do super chats, martyforcongress.com. Go there right now and give me like $7. 7 is a magic number, as you know. You can give me 7 or any multiple of 7.
Now is that the number 4 or is it FOR?
It's FOR.
All right, martyforcongress.com, folks. Get over there if you're inclined.
Oh, look at you. Oh, you guys.
There you go. If you're inclined to support Marty, get over there and do it and help save Nevada.
And I'm putting my own money in big time, but like the powers that be in DC are like, you got to raise money, otherwise we don't believe you really have support. So I got to raise money. I got to figure out a way to get people to raise money. The politics in Washington, it's amazing how much money is the thing that's the most important. I mean, the one thing I've learned over the last year is that money is the most important thing in politics.
Have you tried busking?
I could busk. That's a good idea. I could bring a cello or a flute or something. I could sing. Oh, I should do that more. Maybe.
Well, you know, we have Ron Coleman, who represents Donald Trump. He's on the show quite a bit. Maybe he can show you around DC, the swamp that is, and help you out. I think he tries to stay in Jersey, though. And honestly, if you're staying in Jersey rather than the other place, it really says something about the other place. Sorry,
I'm not sure if Jersey is a good sign for me. But I've met some of the Trump people, and I'm very encouraged by some of the Trump people. By the way, Elon Musk is a fan, believe it or not. So I'm hoping at some point, we're pretty early in the process. You know, the midterms are more than a year away. I'm a little bit early into the thing because I really want to see if there's an appetite in the district and across the country for me to do something sort of crazy like this. And but I'm expecting some. Hey, you know what? I got Kato Kalin's endorsement, so that's
right.
Marty, did you
Kevin,
yes? Did you just act surprised that Elon Musk is supporting you? Have you seen the Cybertruck? It's the Cybertruck is a warthog. Of course, he's a fan of you.
But he supported, believe it or not, he supported me a year. I don't know if you know this, but I actually dipped my toe in the water a year ago, very late in the primary in this district. We ended up in the primary, splitting the primary 4 ways, and I came in 4th. So that there was like 8 people in it. I came in 4th. 4 of us split the vote. And the guy who ended up winning, who was a jerk, by the way, didn't win against the Democrats. So we all knew that was going to happen. But the folks in DC were like, we like you, Marty. We think you should be the one. And I'm like, well, you should help me now before the primary, because I'm getting in with like 70 days until the primary. I'm getting in so late. I need your help. And they're like, well, that's not how the system works. And I'm like, okay, well, I think your system might be broken, possibly. I don't know. So,
all right, folks, we're going to get to the super chats. On the flip side of the super chats, if Marty's still available, I've got some questions based on what he said about religious themes and some of the deep thinkers of our time. In regards to Halo, we'll ask those questions on the other side of super chats if we get the chance. Not sure we will, but we'll try it. And by the way, Marty brought up Andrew Klavan. Folks, if you are interested in the discussions about Snow White, since Rachel Zegler has destroyed that as well, his daughter, Andrew Klavan's daughter, Faith Moore, we've been trying to schedule her for a while now. Hopefully we'll have her soon. But check out Faith Moore's take on Snow White as an archetypal feminine hero story. Go check that out as well. I think you'll enjoy it. Vash, let's get the super chats up on the screen.
Absolutely. Andrew Fay coming in here with another $50. Thank you so much, Andrew.
Now, Andrew, go to Marty for only 7. You could start with 7. We just would like to see some support.
Well, he does have your vote there. Marty, I extend my sincere gratitude for your exceptional work. Your artistry provided invaluable escapism for many of us during our deployment, deeply resonating with and uplifting our spirits. Thank you for your profound contribution. You got my vote.
Well, thank you for your service, Andrew. Yeah, we actually knew that, especially in Iraq and Afghanistan, there were a lot of troops on the front lines that were playing Halo back in the day. So we were aware of that. We're super excited that happened. So thanks, Andrew.
Indeed. And it looks like Ed Stalker of Shadow, I want to say, with $2. Marty, play the cello for the buggy. I call it FD.
Okay. I don't even know what FD means, but that's okay.
Fire department, I suppose. That's the best.
Oh, okay. All
There
right.
you go.
Okay.
Oh, that's pretty good. He was doing it. Oh,
keep on rolling, Vash. Here we go.
I wrote it. I should know how to do it.
Back in Protons with $5. Marty, can we make a floor from under the rock from under a rock game? Digitized puppets. The player controls trying to save pop culture with video game references.
Now, to understand this, Marty, the guy to your right runs a channel called Floral from Under a Rock, which is this puppet thing. I'm sorry, other side. There, you got it. Nope. Yep. There you go.
Here. Oh,
yeah, that guy.
The church guy.
The goatee man.
Okay,
the
church
kazoo.
guy. Church guy. What's your name again?
Steve.
Steve. So, Baptist, non-denominational, Catholic. What are you?
I'm a
Canadian.
Yeah.
Canadian. Oh, that's a whole different denomination.
Yeah, it is. I'm actually down in the States. I'd be a part of Assemblies of God.
Oh, excellent. Okay, so a little more emotional stuff happening. A little Holy Spirit.
I'm learning more about Steve as we speak. I didn't realize this makes so much sense. Why you have Wilton as a puppet? You're Pentecostal. I get this now.
It's the tongues, I tell you.
Okay. Wait. So yeah, I don't know. Player control says pop culture. Yeah, that sounds packing protons. That sounds like a game. You should go out and get Unreal 5 and get some friends and make this game that you're talking about.
Breaking news, folks. Marty. Breaking news. Marty is not going to step aside from his run for Congress to create a puppet game.
To be honest, I think at my age, my ability or my desire to actually make a video game is pretty much in the rearview mirror. So
you're saying it's hard work.
It's ridiculously hard work. It's very hard. And I think from the crunches that I've been through, Halo 2, Halo 1, Halo 3, Congress sounds like a vacation to me.
Well,
that might be bad. I hope that doesn't get cut and used against me. But seriously, I've been to Washington. I just don't think these people really work very hard. So
don't worry, Marty. We're gonna use AI to cover that up. They'll never see it. Your opponents will never see it. It's good. You're actually going to say, and I apologize. We'll get you to sign the contract that allows for this. But you're actually going to say, America. You're running for Nevada. Nevada. I will be your overshield.
There you go. Oh,
there you go.
Gosh, I like that.
Ooh, I like
hey,
that.
You're welcome.
David Maddox with E499. Marty, any relation to Michael Connell? He and Junior Campbell composed for a train show you may heard of. Sorry.
Somebody's using an Apple device. Look at Apple trying to sabotage you with that spell check.
I'm pretty sure it was not. How it went to notoriety has no idea. So I am related to Mike O'Donnell. He was my cousin. Unfortunately, he died like 20 years ago. So I have a feeling that it is not the Mike O'Donnell you are referring to. So I have no idea what you're talking about. Sorry.
And that is what we do with a somber note from a composer. Shall we say a minor key? All right, keep it going, Vash.
Hillis Mallory with the $5. Mr. O'Connell, has there been any
O'Donnell with a D? O'Donnell.
I believe
O'Connell. Take on.
Did I say Conan? I do apologize.
Vash, this man is running for Congress. We've got to get this right. Professional show.
I understand. I do apologize.
MartyForCongress.com. Remember.
All right,
that. Okay.
Mr. O'Donnell.
Mr. O'Donnell. Has there been any movement on returning to platforming games like Super Mario Brothers, NES, Contra? I'm sorry, or old Sonic games?
Has there been any movement? Certainly not by me. I love some of the old platformers. Ask Nintendo to see what they're, what's the new Switch 2 going to be? Maybe there'll be some cool platformers on there. I don't know.
Should have called it a Super Switch. Should have went with the old SNES. This Switch 2, man, that's boring.
I agree. Totally.
Wasted opportunity.
Sean, the artist, formerly known as John, with the 199. Marty, how hilarious was my commentary in X? Epic.
You should definitely just go with this, Marty.
Yeah, that was incredibly epic. I'm still laughing inside.
Unless it was serious, in which case Marty is
And I
also
was
blown away.
Very taking it very seriously inside.
Indeed. I'm going to go ahead and read these from the bottom up, so that way.
$199. You know, that's hardly worth me responding, but that's okay.
Now, Marty, I have to hold you there because there's an entire internet culture you may not be aware of called the 199.
Oh, okay. Well, I started as a 199. That was the cheapest I could come on to let you know I was here. So.
You were unknowingly part of the power of the 199.
Okay.
This is the power of the 199. He donated the least amount and got right on.
Everybody should be encouraged. If you donate a 199, you could end up on the show.
You too could be on the panel any moment now.
Just like who's
Steve
the
C
guy
with
on
these.
my other side? What's this guy?
Just like Canadian and the guy who could kill us all. The strong man over there.
He's the
busting us on his shoulders.
I want to know what you do. Like, what do you do?
Kevin, really, what do you do?
I don't know. What do I do here? Other than I bring in the ladies sometimes.
Oh, well, that's very
Kevin is a humble person. He would never brag and admit that he works in the theme park industry and specifically in design. And since we cover theme parks here from time to time, Kevin is quite the aficionado we need.
I thought he worked at Bic.
Steve, don't give it away.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, the other one sounds better.
Steve C with the $7 and no message. Thank you so much, Steve C, for
Thank you.
that.
7. No, wait. 7 is a very important thing. Steve, I recognize that number. Thank you, Steve.
That's right.
You guys are not aware of the magic of the number 7. So that's what he was communicating directly to me without any other message. 7. Okay.
A complete number that you can also have magic with over at martyforcongress.com today.
That's right. What are you done?
You can't give me $1.99. You can only start at 7.
That's right. All right, Vash, you take control back over on the super chats. I knocked it out of the way for just a moment.
Yep. Back in Protons, $2. O'Connell was slacker.
Oh, O'Connell, see?
Oh boy, I'm never gonna live that down. Thank you so much, Back in Protons, for pointing that out. I'm ready with the 499 and with another 499 for the goal.
Yes,
okay. We've achieved that. Happy 200 episodes. Another 499.
Thank you, Maravita, and it's always a pleasure to see you out there in the audience.
Indeed. Was it Pixel Ghost with the $5? Marty, I just wanted to say my brothers and I grew up on Halo, and your music has always been incredible to us. I'd vote for you in Congress.
So, Pixel Ghost, I appreciate it. And if you're not in my district and you can't vote for me, go to Marty for Congress. There you go.
Or have you heard of mail-in ballots?
With mail-in ballots, you can do as many as you want. So that's cool.
Did we already suffer through that?
Don't do that. Oh boy. Doge with the $5. Japanese charts. Famitsu, I believe.
Famitsu.
Show mainly Nintendo, Dragon Quest, Monster Hunter, and Minecraft. PS5 games struggle. I'd like the West to be more like that.
Well, there you go. Well,
okay. Fine.
We're happy for the West to catch up with what's going on in other parts of the world because the West, well, they started making Concord, and that didn't go so well, eh?
By the way, you guys should have me on talking about Concord and Marathon, the new Marathon. You probably don't know the connection. So Bungie is a nexus. One of the guys who made sure I was separated from Bungie was a guy named Harold Ryan, who started a company named Probably Monsters, which was an incubator for game companies. They incubated a bunch of my friends who worked at Bungie, sort of later Bungie, and started a game studio called Firewalk Studios. And so Probably Monsters under Harold Ryan incubated this studio called Firewalk, which made a game called Concord. And Sony was very excited about Concord and bought Concord for $1 gazillion. And we all know what happened there. Sony also bought, thank you, Sony. I appreciate this because I had founder stock in Bungie that I sued for. Concord or Bungie was bought by Sony for $3.7 billion, which is why I don't actually have to work. And then Microsoft or Sony bought Bungie, and Bungie, in payment back to Sony, made Marathon the new Marathon. So Sony was able to buy both Concord, which came from Bungie, and Marathon, which came from Bungie. So
Well, Marty, we would love
that's
to.
worked out really well, hasn't it?
We would love to shine our spotlight on that. And one of the things we discovered, I don't know if you know this.
Yeah.
Concord and Dustborn, I believe.
Yes.
They were receiving significant funding from the European Union through something that was running through Norway, I believe, where they had various social requirements that you could probably imagine in your mind. Because where else are you going to imagine them? But you could probably come up with some ideas of what those social requirements were in order to get the EU funding that was not small.
Sure.
Greta would have been happy. And so we would love to connect more dots. We'd love
How
that.
dare you? Okay, go ahead.
Indeed. John Maynor with the $10. I'm thinking that you really need to get both Marty and Andrew on the show. Andrew is the #1 commentator on Daily Wire who understands the power of culture.
Well, we've got... go ahead.
I have a picture. I was at the inauguration. Because Sony bought Bungie for $3.7 billion, I'm one of those people who was able to afford the money that it takes to go to the Trump inauguration.
You wanted to hobnob with Ike Perlmutter. We get it.
Yes. I have a picture with me. I met Andrew Cuomo. Oh my gosh. What a horrible thing to say. Andrew Klavan. Cuomo. Believe it or not, there's a whole story. I met Cuomo's father in 1996. So that's another story. The former governor of New York. You guys are all too young to even know who I'm talking about. That's okay.
So long as you weren't with Cuomo near an assisted living place in the past 3 or 4 years, you're
right.
going to be okay.
Dead. I'd be dead right now.
That's right.
I would be dead. Anyway, I met Andrew Klavan. Which, believe it or not, meeting Andrew Klavan was a highlight of my life. Meeting William F. Buckley and then Andrew Klavan was wonderful things. I've had a few emails with Andrew. I think he's a great guy. I would kill to be on some sort of show with Andrew Klavan. He's amazing. I love that guy.
Well,
you can make it happen. There you go.
I'll reach out.
The fact that you're looking to kill people to connect people totally makes sense why you're willing to go to Congress.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Change your last name to Clinton.
I'm trying to be really good and not bring Wilton on, so I'm just trying to.
All right, now before we read this next super chat, before we read this next one,
guy, right? Okay, all right.
I gotta say to Joppy. Now, Joppy, we love you, and that's why we're gonna say it this way.
What does SEK mean? Is that Korean money? Is that like $1.50?
Swedish, they call them kronans, but it means crowns. We just call them Swedish crowns. That's what Vash's job here is essentially, is to know every currency that could ever come in.
Okay, so, what's 50 cents? What is that? Swedish can't be much.
Unfortunately, it's a little bit more than 50 cents. And so Joppy...
I'd like to know what that is.
Well, Joppy told us last time he sent in a super chat this large that it was going to be the last time because he's trying to step away from doing this. So Joppy, we're going to remind you that you must be personally responsible. Don't send in huge amounts of money to various YouTube channels, okay?
So I believe that I'm part of the reason why Joppy has broken his pledge. Because
this is where Marty is going to say, Joppy, you're still welcome at martyforcongress.com.
Yeah, exactly.
See, my question was, wouldn't it be technically like foreign interference?
Yeah, you know what? That is a problem. I have a Discord channel, and I have all these fans from New Zealand and Australia and England and Germany, and they're like, we can't contribute it. We can't even buy a Marty for Congress mug, coffee mug, because it doesn't. They're prevented from doing it by
rupees
law.
Not allowed. All right, let me read this one, Vash, since Joppy is in this end. But Joppy has asked us to help him be responsible. So Joppy, again, let's ease up, man. We're going to you can just literally type super chat. We'll read it without you having to spend any money. It says, I know what I said last time, but I really need to mention this about indies.
Copy.
The problem with that being the future is that they're limited to cheaper engines. Gaming engines, folks, not ICE engines. As for AI, the problem is abusive litigation by claiming it's still copyrighted.
Okay, well, Joppy, I got to say, I'm sorry you spent so much money to say this thing, but you're wrong about this. Cheaper engines, there's nothing, Unreal 5 is being used by the top AAA studios. It's not expensive to use. Unity is not expensive to use. If you can't afford to use a Unity or Unreal 5, then you shouldn't be making games. It's just not that expensive. So you can use the same engines as the AAA studios. Number two, the problem with AI, I agree with you that it's not abusive litigation. It has to do with people like me saying, yeah, you were using my music to sample in order to come up with your music, quote unquote, your music. Yeah, that's not going to work. So there is a lot of litigation and legal stuff that's going to have to work through the legal system, especially with people who are trying to claim ownership of what AI is creating. If you just create stuff and put it out and you don't try to make money on it, fine. But you can't sample a bunch of actors' voices and then say you own it just because some AI engine sampled real people's work. So there's going to be a long period of time where the legal system, and trust me, the legal system is really slow, and it's going to take a while. So there you go.
Agreed. Packing Protons with the $5. Thundercats, He-Man, TMNT, all great soundtracks of TV around the era of Nolan Batman themes vanished. 5 notes that repeat is not a theme.
Yeah, totally agree. Got it. Sorry.
John S. with the $5. At Packing Protons, Thundercats are loose.
Thunder, thunder, thunder.
Steve C. member for 24 months, 2 years. Thank you so much for that. Kudos on the 200th to WW, Fall Steve, and the rest.
Who's Fall Steve? Are you not real?
Faux Steve.
Faux Steve? Faux?
Steve. No.
Are you Faux Steve?
My name is actually Steve C. My last name starts with a C. Carruthers. And
this rabbit hole is getting deeper. People are triangulating.
For the longest time, every time I'd see his name in the chat, I would be like, why is my name there? And
I see. Okay. So he's telling you, Steve C. He's got a little cross thing in his
he does.
So he's probably also a worship leader.
Possibly. I'm a lead pastor now, technically, but
interesting.
By the way, folks, got to break in here and say we believe that we've hit the super chat goal. We can't save YouTube. It looks like YouTube's little counter is no longer functioning. We're stuck at 48 out of 50, but you all passed it. And the goal is to receive free Patreon memberships. We're putting that link out there. Get a free membership to the Patreon for 1 month. Click on the link in the chat below if you're on YouTube. If you're on the Instagrammies, the X's, the GeoCities, whatever you're using today, you got to be on YouTube to get the link, but it's over in the chat.
See, here's the thing. I'm on YouTube and I'm on Twitter and all the rest. I've never tried to monetize anything. I got to figure out how you guys are doing whatever it is you're doing, because we're
big on Etsy. It's where we make the bread, man.
Comics Dad with $5. Good evening, everyone. Keep doing great work. I can only hope to have a fraction of the impact that you have in this space. You all inspired me and still do.
Cool.
Thank you, Comics Dad.
Thank you. Doge member for 2 months. The NPD and European charts still show largely AAA games. If Indie and AA were to usurp them, we still got a lot to do. We need a gaming revolution.
Well, I agree with that. Yeah, and you know what? I'm not saying AAA games can't be amazing. I mean, Elden Ring was an amazing game, and that's AAA. So there's a lot of games out there that are still cool. But I don't think the future is coming from what I would say are the big monolithic publishers. I think they've lost the plot. So
yeah, especially with Ubisoft with that quadruple A. There. Not good. Hero at Large with the $9.99. Congrats on 200 episodes.
Wait, could I just real quick? 200 episodes. I haven't been watching you. So what was that, like like the last 3 weeks or something. What is that?
You know, what has it been? We've been doing this for 2.5 years, something like that. So 200 episodes in 2.5 years. Not too bad. We're not doing the 5 days a week, but we're not far off from it now either.
Okay, well, I'm impressed.
Consistency, if nothing else. We've got that down.
Exactly. Comic Stat member for 15 months. AAA game industry needs overhaul. Expedition 33.
And I'm going to give another shout out to Blueprints. That's a fantastic puzzle game along with Expedition 33. Highly recommend both of those games. Check them out. Unless Marty disapproves.
Wait. Who's making Blueprints? This is the first I've heard of it.
Blueprints, Prince, which is a play on the word blueprints, is a puzzle game along the lines of Myst, but it's also roguelike, in that you get to draft your rooms as you're going. It's made by a single individual who paid out to have these have contractors come in and do his animation, is 3D everything.
Yeah.
And I don't know who the publisher is, but he basically went to the studios and said, take it or leave it. It's done. And it's become a huge game this summer.
Okay, so I will check that out because that sounds very interesting to me, especially because you probably don't know this, but I was I was an audio director on Riven, which was the sequel to Myst, if anybody played that.
I do remember it.
That was one of my games. And so I love those kind of games. I think they're really cool. And if he's calling it Blueprints, you probably don't know this, but Blueprints is the name of the tool that you use in Unreal 5 to script game events. Blueprints is probably one of the most powerful tools ever made for gaming. And I have a feeling this guy probably, if that's the name of the game, he's probably, that's cool. Blueprints. All right. Thank you for that. I
definitely check it out.
I'm going to check it out.
If you make references to 3D Studio Max, I'm going to get it. Unreal, I'm not there. But the moment you mention NURBS, I am going to know what you're talking about. Vertices, I got it. Connecting the dots, eh? All right, keep going, Vash.
Very good.
Doge with the $5. Hillis Macquarie, you can try a bunch of indie games. Sorry, platformers is all you want, but other than Nintendo, these games haven't outsold AAA.
Oh, so he's calling back to the platformers guy. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he paid $5 to talk to Hills Macquarie. That's pretty cool.
Pretty cool. And
you guys you got a racket going here. That's all I could say.
Sounds like a vote in support of Super Mario World and Sonic Mania. There you go, Doge.
John S. with the $5 for the goal.
And goal has been reached, but darn YouTube didn't let us shoot the confetti. So we've got the link out there at the ready. Click it, folks, and you can become a member of the Patreon. We'd love to have you be a part of that over there.
Archer Merchant with the $5. Hear me out. Maybe if the Silver Surfette was Sydney Sweeney instead, it might have taken the audience just a bit longer to realize that F4 was horrible. It's Fantastic Four. I'll go ahead and repeat Lou's joke because he's not here. You know, they tried the silver on the costume and it was just too much for Disney to pay.
Archer, I need you to hear me out. If Sydney Sweeney had been in help me out, I almost said Final Fantasy. In Fantastic Four. There we go. There's my Vash moment. Hear me out, Archer. If Sydney Sweeney had been in Fantastic Four, the 3D theaters would have sold out.
Terrible. That's a terrible joke.
So, Pro, I don't know your name, and we haven't met, and you're just a still image.
I hear you. We're best friends already. I get it. What do you want?
Disturbs me, but when I say you have a face for radio, you've been on radio. You must have been a radio guy. Am I right?
I've done some radio. Yeah, I've done some radio in the past.
Okay,
dabbled.
I hear compression on your mic. I hear the voice quality. You're a radio dude, so I get it.
I try. You know, I'm just a simple fellow with a pixelated face, as they say.
He's a janitor at a 7-Eleven.
Is that what it is? Okay.
I'm still working on that darn Slurpee machine.
None of you know who this guy is. Is that the deal? Is that sort of the mystery?
We all have routine snuggle appointments.
Hey! Let's not bring up the snuggle puddles. That's weird, dude.
I know about this.
You got to get in on it, apparently. So
Doge for the $2. Not just corporate issue; it's company culture as well.
Oh yes, I agree with that.
That's right.
The culture is hugely, hugely important. As I have a little podcast that I'm doing that I started. You know why I'm doing a podcast? Because we need more podcasts. Am I right?
The world is empty of podcasts. So I'm so thankful you've joined the fray.
There's not enough.
I've been calling my old friends from 25 years ago, the original Bungie crew, and saying, "Hey, you want to be on my podcast?" And they're all willing to do it. And as I talk through the old stories from a quarter century ago, it's just great to fill in the gaps again. My story goes this way, their story fills in a little differently. But there was a point where the company culture of the early 30, 40 guys at Bungie was really amazing. It was a band of brothers. And as that erodes over time, it's just sad to see what happens to the games when the company culture erodes. So anyway,
Marty, how quickly did you guys throw the multiplayer together for the original Halo?
6 months.
6 months. And was that at the end of that, you guys said, we got to have multiplayer. We're going to do it no matter what. And you just went at it. Was that how that worked out?
Yeah. So I had Hardy LaBelle, who was on the Oni team. If anybody played Oni, like 3 or 4 of you who played Oni. So the Oni team was going to stay separate from the Halo team. And Hardy had to be the guy to say, we can't ship Oni with multiplayer, which was just about killed him. And then he was going to be on a little team separate from the Halo team that was going to do the next game. And the 2 guys, Jason and Alex, who were the founders of Bungie, came to Hardy and said, we're going to have to cut Halo multiplayer. Sorry. And Hardy's like, no, you can't cut Halo multiplayer. I will take it and run with it. And they're like, good. That's what we wanted you to say. So Hardy basically picked up the baton to make Halo multiplayer with a team of like 3 people in Halo 1 in 2001, probably February of 2001. By 6 months later, they had it fleshed out, and that's what we shipped for Halo 1. And I'm telling you guys, and you probably know this, but if we hadn't shipped Halo 1 multiplayer along with Halo 1 single player, I think not only would Halo probably have failed over time, people would have liked the game, but it wouldn't have had legs, right? And if Halo didn't have legs and been a big hit, especially with the college crowd who just discovered LAN and Ethernet and had LAN parties, Xbox would have died. So in my opinion, Hardy making Halo 1 in 6 months multiplayer is the reason Xbox still exists. And
I totally agree.
He's
totally agree.
He's one of the unsung heroes. So
now, who do we need to blame for Chiron though? Who made that map? We need to have a talk. Was that seriously like the last day you guys said we had a quota, guys? We got to make one.
You know what? I asked Hardy about Chiron because I know the guy who helped make it also made Hang 'em High.
That balances out then.
It does. But Chiron, I couldn't believe when I played Chiron. I'm like, what were you guys thinking? And Hardy laughed about it. It's like, believe it or not, Chiron was sort of a misunderstanding between him and Peter. Peter didn't understand what Hardy wanted. Hardy didn't communicate what he wanted. Anyway, Chiron was a mess. And there are a few, there's like 3 people out there who love Chiron, but yeah, it's not good.
Well, that's why people need help in this world.
I'm glad you even know Chiron. That's really you've just.
I mean, we don't play it here, but when I have the guys over, we pass over it when we get to Hang 'em High, Damnation, Chill Out, all the rest of them.
Absolutely.
Sean, the artist formerly known as John, with the 199. Marty, I'm still rocking the ad lib gold for 7th guest.
Oh, I don't even. I know 7th guest. I don't know what ad lib gold means.
Sean, it is. Sean, it is so prestigious. Not even Marty knows what it is.
But I know what 7th guest is. Do you guys know 7th guest?
I don't know 7th guest. What is 7th guest?
It's a game that came out at the same time Myst came out in 1993, maybe.
Somewhere around there. 94 is what I was going to guess, but 93 is probably right on Mist.
Yeah, and it was I knew the guy who did the music for Seventh Guest. So if he's still rocking to some piece of music from Seventh Guest, it was written by a guy named the Fat Man, and kudos. That's great.
So Marty, what was your first game on your resume for doing audio?
Beavis and Butthead Virtual Stupidity.
All right, we're not going to include that in the run for Congress. That is not going to make the list.
All I did was I produced a banjo track for the credits in that piece, but we got name credit for it, so it was pretty cool. The first official game I did was Riven, the sequel to Myst, which is better to say. So Riven is the one, but
Riven is the one.
If you actually look up, credits that show up in time, we were credited on Beavis and Butthead Virtual Stupidity, which, by the way, is not a bad game. The game itself was actually pretty cool.
Kevin, did you play that game?
I did, absolutely.
Did you really?
I'm in the right age for Beavis and Butthead, and wasn't supposed to say the F word when it got banned. And
Kevin, I need you to completely unrelated to anything we've been talking about. I know you dozed off for a minute. Kevin, what did you think about the banjo? Do you recall any banjo music in that game towards the end?
Probably.
It was brilliant. Come on, Kevin.
Absolutely, it was brilliant. Listen, I'm geeking out right now. I have to, so while you were talking, I text my father because so I got a chuckle when you talk about why you were running, and so my face is exposed because my family was doxxed by the DNC. So when that happens, you kind of live with no fear. So
good for you. All right.
Well, while that was happening, my father kind of went into semi-retirement while he was trying to figure out what he wanted to do with himself, and he had dusted off my Xbox and had just been playing Halo and Halo 2, and I'm checking him, and he just have the screen on, just listen to the opening screen. So I'm like, you're not going to believe who I'm talking to right now.
And your dad said, "I'm busy, Kevin. I'm trying to save the Pillar of Autumn. Get out of here, man."
The fragging planet, leave me alone.
So tell your father that I was the guy from the very beginning who said, wait, we're going to have this menu screen. How much time can I use on the menu screen to play random pieces of music that would keep players engaged, even if they went to the kitchen to get a sandwich? And the guys were like, oh, we could do, 10 minutes of stuff. And I'm like, oh my gosh, from a music standpoint, that's a huge amount of time. So I made sure that every menu screen with looping music that randomly played stuff, I made sure that was all as compelling and emotional as possible. I don't think there was anybody else at Bungie that ever noticed that we had a menu screen with all that music in it. That was my little pet project. So I appreciate anybody who ever listened to the music on the menu screen.
Marty, what you're saying is that when we reached the point that consoles could play long format music because of the storage space, the capacity, you're the guy who came in and said, we're going to do that. And we're starting this era off with Gregorian chants.
Yes. Well, no, actually, the Gregorian chant was my idea. It was because of a guy the writer saying, when I asked him, okay, for this demo we're doing for Steve Jobs in 1999, what are the emotions we're trying to evoke in the audience for this brand new game called Halo? And he says, Marty, it needs to make people feel the sense of ancient, epic, and mysterious. And so in the car on the way to the studio, I'm like, ancient. Okay, that's Gregorian chant. Okay, that'll work. And then that's how that went. Almost that fast.
Was that a hard pitch when you get to the developer? When you get to the game director?
There was, like I said, there was 28 of us or something on the team, and I was an outside contractor. So I went to my partner Mike in the studio, and I said, "Okay, here's what we're going to record. We have 2 days to record this." And he goes, "Okay." And we recorded it. I brought the CD over to Bungie the day they were getting on the airplane to fly to New York for the demo with Steve Jobs, and there was no changing at that point. There was no me having to sell it to him. I'm like, here's what I did. What do you think? And they're like, yeah, it's cool. So, that's how easy it was back then.
And then we got in the warthog and dun 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 dun.
Oh, okay. Not only are you a radio guy, you got a little music background.
Yeah, it's called Halo.
Yeah,
Keep it going,
that's
Vash.
good. All right.
Sweet Sunshine Liz. I believe we have to do the Sweet Sunshine Liz.
Dun, dun, dun.
There you go with the $49.99 to the young pastor. Please pray for my nieces, Blondie, going through spiritual warfare. I haven't been to church for years. If I walk in, I'll fall to the floor and convulse. Thanks and good night. Got let's see, Z's. You guys are great.
I recommend you go to church. You will not convulse. You will be welcomed, and God is waiting for you. And go to church, and we will pray for your nieces.
That's right. Lightning is not waiting for you, but God is.
Yes. There you go.
By the way, folks, because of the nature of this super chat, we have gifted all that money back. Sweet Sunshine Liz, we've taken that and transformed that into pro gifted memberships. So those are out there. Vash, let's put that back on the screen. Steve, give us your thoughts on that one.
Yeah, no, go to church. There's so many people they say that stuff, and you know, I don't want to discount the fact that maybe there is something that's happened in the past, but there's wholeness and healing that can come from allowing God to speak to you. I do believe in the power of the Holy Spirit. If you need healing, even feel free to reach out to me. And you can reach out floralfromunderarock@gmail.com, and I'll be happy to have a one-on-one conversation with you if you'd like. I've done that for other people that can be attested to by different people in the chat, and I'll be even happy just to take a few moments and pray with you and have a chat with you, and hopefully connect you with people that are in your area that can be helpful. God has a plan. He has a purpose. He wants to do incredible things in, through, and around you. And so, and that applies to not just you, but to everyone who is listening right now. And
Steve, let me just pile on that. Like, Sweet Sunshine Liz, you should take Steve up on his offer. That's tremendous. And let me just say to everybody listening, I don't know how everybody else feels about this, but like, we are in a time of spiritual warfare. There is no doubt this is powers and principalities. This is spiritual warfare, and you know, we can have fun, we can make jokes, and humor is really great, but like, this is serious. So yes, Steve, very good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's see here. Packing Protons with the $5. Virtual stupidity is amazing. I have a full walkthrough on my channel now.
See, there you go. I love it. It is amazing. It was a game way ahead of its time.
See, we've converted Marty. Now he says, these are my people. These are my weird, strange people.
Listen, I always knew I had the sort of the nerd contingent. I just didn't know where to find it. Now you've opened the door. Thank you, Pro. I appreciate it.
This bizarro little corner of the web.
Chris gifts 10 WDW Pro memberships.
Thank you, Chris. And to say thank you, we'll play this.
I want to hear it.
Not right now.
Yes, now, Dusty Bun.
Wait. Okay.
God dang it, from the bottom of our hearts here on the WDW Pro Channel, thank you.
And God bless whoever did the lip syncing on that.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Wunderbar.
By the way, just explain really quickly for those of us who are new like me, what is a WDW Pro membership? What does that mean? How does that work?
A membership gets you access to all kinds of member-exclusive content. Many YouTube channels out there have memberships. And so member-exclusive videos, as well as the opportunity to get videos before they release to the public. At the higher levels of membership, you can appear on a panel on member-exclusive live streams. And then you can also send in articles as a guest writer on the website, thatpartplace.com. Of course, not every article makes it in, but they are given over to the editor-in-chief there to take a look.
So Chris gifting 10 of those means 10 Randus get 10 memberships?
Well, I'm glad you asked, because we have an expert.
All right.
We've got an expert who can explain.
Gandalf the Grey. That was my name.
You see, Marty, 10 people went from gray to green, like Gandalf fighting the Balrog.
It's pretty cool. Very
Indeed.
cool.
And William Thompson definitely doing his part to turn that chat from gray to green with $2. I'm ready for my debut, and debuts with 20 WDW Pro memberships.
Oh.
Now, Marty, I don't know if you know, you probably don't, but you may have, because William's kind of famous around these parts. William not only has the greatest hat in the interwebs, but also he actually drives around real human plasma, and it's not some sort of mafia-esque kind of activity. He's doing it for the medical community. William, thank you.
Oh.
And were some of those sound effects quote unquote borrowed from a certain shiny entertainment featuring an earthworm?
Oh, interesting. Didn't know.
Maybe.
It didn't include the oof, did it?
Nor Evil the Cat.
Jordan Shane with the $5. Thank you for your contributions to the industry, Marty. Wishing you all the best in your next chapter, kind sir.
Thank you much. I appreciate it. I really do.
Gilliam the second with the $5. Think there are multiple Oni games. Is yours the game where you are the female cop with power and crazy moves? If so, I love that game.
That is the game, but I would have to take issue with you. There is only one actual Oni game. There are some Oni Musha games, but there's only one game just called Oni, and it is the one you were talking about. You play Kanoko, the female cop with power and crazy moves, and it was a cool game. But do not play it on the PlayStation. Only play it on Mac and PC.
You heard him, folks. There you go. Acting Protons with the $5. I have air checks on WPLJ and WCBS with Scott Shannon. Pro has the Cousin Brucey mic sound going.
I don't know who Cousin Brucey is, but he sounds good to me.
Sounds good indeed.
Cousin Brucey, I think, was a DJ from the... Yeah, okay. There you go. He remembers.
There you go. Doge with the $2. I hope to make an anti-woke Disney beat-em-up game.
Perfect. Make it.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, boy.
Did we get the punch Snow White in the face? Is that one of the deals?
I frankly find it offensive that Cinderella does what she does with that shoe, though. The fatality is too much.
Oh, yeah. That's true. Packing Protons with the $5. Watch this, Marty. I'm spending $5 to remind Pro to check his Tweety for some Wilton AI madness.
Packing, I've told you before, I know it's X. Don't call it a Tweety. You can't tell men to check their Tweety. It's not appropriate IRL nor here.
Oh, this show. It's very funny. Planet AB with $2. Oh, why not? Here's 200 pennies for 200 episodes.
Thank you, Planet AB. Much appreciated.
Indeed. Rosy Toes with the $5. Wondering if you're familiar with Chance Thomas's music for the LOTRO.
Lord of the Rings Online, massively multiplayer.
In your opinion, it's some of my favorite music.
Yeah, Chance is a good friend. I've known him for 25 years. Yeah, he's a spectacularly good composer, and I love all his music. Period.
That's awesome. That's very, very cool.
You'll see. I have a chapter in the book that he wrote. So,
a
chapter, or maybe just a blurb. I can't remember what.
They're the same thing. Chapters, blurbs.
For me, it's like half the book.
2-word citation,
Yeah,
there you go. I got a question, Marty. Do you know what happened to maybe Jeremy Soule?
Oh, gosh. It's funny, very funny that you would ask that. I talked to, he did the music for Chris Taylor's game, Chris Taylor's big game back in 1998. What was the name of that game? Somebody on line knows what I'm talking about.
Somebody in the chat, drop it down for us. Tell what it is.
Grander, Total Annihilation.
Total Annihilation. So Jeremy, as soon as I heard Jeremy's music, I was doing music for Myth. Jeremy did Total Annihilation, and it was all live orchestral music. And I'm like, oh my gosh, some kid just upped the ante for game music. And when I moved to Seattle after Microsoft bought us, he was one of the first people I met. And he was like all enthralled with the Halo music. He thought it was borrowed from some movie score. And so we hit it off right away, mutual admiration. So I've known Jeremy for a long time, but I haven't since he got into trouble. What is it? 10 years ago, 8 years ago, something like that. He got into some, whatever that is. What's the name of that trouble you get into when you sexually harass people?
Yeah, Me Too allegations, I'm guessing.
Yeah, Me Too. You got into a Me Too thing, which I think was suspect. I don't really believe that was done properly. I think he was kind of railroaded. Anyway, I haven't heard from him. Nobody's heard from him in the last 8 years. So I actually reached out to the guy who, Chris Taylor, who made Total Annihilation. And today, believe it or not, it's one of those things Jeremy was in my mind, in my heart. And I'm just like, how's Jeremy doing? And his brother, they both have dropped off the map. And so Chris said he'd look in. He says, yeah, I haven't heard from Jeremy in years. I'll see if I can contact his agent and get a hold of him. So I would love to find out where Jeremy is, because he's, everybody's got their feet of clay and, problems and whatever, but he's a solidly good person with a lot of talent, and he shouldn't be canceled for the rest of his life. So yeah, I'm looking into it.
And there's got a way to bring people back from reputational assassination.
Yeah. If he's repentant, if there's something he wants to, anyway, I would love to, whether it happens publicly or not. I just want to reach out to the guy and say, look, you still have somebody in the industry who wants to reach out to you. So I'm trying to find where he is.
Share my love for sure. That's
Jeremy Soule has done some of the best music from Oblivion through the entire series. He's done everything. He's just an amazing, talented composer, and he shouldn't be canceled. So
agreed.
At least not permanently, whatever.
Agreed. John Maynor with the $10. It's going to require Wilton to do a monologue the same way that Andrew Clavin does an invitation to entice him.
Speaking of which, I gotta go. So,
Steve, we had you for another 3 hours. What do you have going on in Canada?
I wake up in 4 hours to work out, so I need to go to bed. And
it's only 10 to 10 where I'm at. So where are you?
No,
I thought you were in Vancouver.
I'm in Ontario. Come on.
Oh, so you're in the French area? Are you a Quebec Y person?
No, Ontario.
Oh, that's in the middle. That's where Toronto is. Okay, that's like Chicago. Okay.
Yeah, I'm about 3 hours from Toronto.
All right.
Alberta, get there.
So you're south of Seattle.
Yeah, but
he's praised Elon. He's praised Elon on Canadian soil. He's given his full name on the show today. So we're just about ready to give his full address and just let the Canadian tyrants come on in.
It's true. But if you want, I could do a quick Wilton outro. But
I think you want to do a quick Wilton outro. So Steve, we'll bring you back on in just a second. Get Wilton ready. We can't destroy the magic, folks. I know that Wilton is antithetical to magic, but we still can't ruin whatever it is that Wilton is. Get a couple story chats on here.
Old Renaissance Boomer with the $5. I need to run for one term, Congress/Senate, health/retire, covered for life. I'd run with slogan, I can't screw it up as much as he or she did.
Well, darn it. Now you've figured Marty out.
And not only that, I might use that slogan. That's a pretty good one.
Pretty good one, yeah.
I mean, really, that was actually my first thought. It's like, how bad could it be? That was going to be my slogan.
What do you have to lose? There you go. Richard James with the $2. WD-40, secret uses and applications channel.
Yeah, well, that's the next channel we're going to start up. Never mind. That was a joke that Pro was about to make that went too far. Steve, hey, Jonas, when you're clipping this, I do have a filter. Someone who doesn't, though, is Wilton the Troll.
Is Wilton. All right.
All right, Wilton, do your thing.
All right. You're going to make it big for me? Make me special?
Yeah.
Come on.
There we go.
Okay.
I hesitate to ruin his campaign with this, but...
Oh, my gosh. Okay. Oh, geez. My slow. Okay, go ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a moment of truth bombs and cultural napalm, where we cut through the noise of the woke wasteland with precision and a laser-guided tomahawk missile. I'm Wilton the Troll, the one people love to hate because reality exists, and it's got a mean right hook. Speaking of right hooks, we want you to go to marty4congress.com and stick it to the swamp by giving $7. Come on, it's $7. He's trying to destroy Washington, D.C. in the best possible way. So move to Nevada and support him some extra. He's promised you can actually live in his basement, or so I've been told. Go to martyforcongress.com now and give him your support.
You know, Wilton, you've got a future in selling really, really bad cars. Just so you know.
Do I get to have like one of those like flappy arm guys that like the tubes?
The inflatable gorilla is all yours.
So just to clarify, $7 is the base. You could go any multiple of 7. So, by the way, 343 is a multiple of 7. Just so you know. Thank you, Wilton. I appreciate it. I really do.
You're welcome.
Sort of.
Thanks, Wilton.
All right. Well, he's out of here.
Wow. Just a Dutchie with the €5.99. If I'm not mistaken. Congratulations on the 200th episode. I really enjoyed the channel.
Thank you so much, Just a Dutchie. I hope that it's okay for me to say your name. I think it is, but you know, you're taking a chance sometimes. Really appreciate you out there as well.
Indeed. Sephiroth with the £5 sterling. Fortnite and a lot of those types of games that use microtransactions will probably shut down in the UK and European Union because of microtransactions. Marty?
Could be. Yeah, that might happen at some point. UK and Europe are stupid. I mean, not that I like microtransactions, but like regulating that stuff just from a government standpoint makes no sense to me. Just let them collapse because people don't want to use them. Fine. Don't regulate them.
Indeed.
If I'm in Congress, I will prevent government from regulating microtransactions.
Marty O'Donnell bringing back loot boxes.
Yes. Gambling and loot boxes. I'm from Las Vegas. Come on. It's okay.
That works, I guess. Thinking Heretic with the $2. Licensing movie IPs. They did it for a theme park. Oh, they did.
Yes, they did.
Indeed. Jeremy Winfield with the member for 13 months. I'm sorry, 23 months. I do apologize. Ultraman Jonas, a champion of the YouTubes.
Oh, let's not brag on Jonas. He's not even here tonight. He was doing some sort of business thing. Get your priorities straight, Jonas. Come on.
Business thing. Oh, rats. Mary Vita with the $19.99 or $20. The best thing about the Pro World channels is how caring and kind you all are on the panel. But also the community is the kindest and most supportive I've ever been a part of. And that is because of all that each of you do. Thank you, Mary Vita, for that. Sorry for the late arrival on that.
What do we say, folks?
I'm the newest person to this panel. It's nice to know that that's the way you guys treat each other. I'm glad to hear that. Thanks.
It is from the top to the bottom. We believe in dignity and truth with a capital T. Maravita, it's all because of you all out there. We don't feed the radioactive hamsters without you. You are the gigawatts.
1.21 gigawatts! 1.21 gigawatts!
Great Scott, you do a lot.
And Marty McFly. See, that's my parents named me after Marty McFly.
That's heavy.
Really?
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
No, do you know how old I am?
Timothy Kennedy with the $10. Fortnite is going to go down. That's a fair point. Timothy Kennedy with the 10 days. See, I believe it.
Timothy Kennedy for 10. Fortnite is going to go down. The Star Floors will drag it into the alternative plane of many. Oh no! You know what this is, Vash? Timothy wants us to play it.
The power of one, the power of two, the power of many.
There you go.
Indeed.
Oh, can't you afford to get like some sort of animated avatar so we have some lip sync with you? I mean, come on, something.
if you're going to go boomer, you've got to boom all the way.
VTuber Pro.
I don't believe you're a boomer. I do not believe that.
How dare you question my Microsoft Paint abilities?
Fooful with the $10. Congrats on 200. Since running this channel, I added goober and wackadoodle to my vocab. Looking forward to enhancing sentences with more new words in the future. Great voice impressions as well.
Oh, I haven't heard the voice impressions.
Does that require me to do a voice impression in response? I think I do.
Yes, it does.
I have no idea how many times I've said goober before, but I don't think it was that many. Wackadoodle? Maybe 5 times.
There you go, little Homer. Little Homer.
That's very good. I got
It's a little Homer.
Can you do Bart? Can you do what's her name?
If I can do Nancy Cartwright,
Yes,
listen, if I can turn off part of my larynx, I'm really something.
It's just the testicles needs to rise a little bit.
That's right. You just got to really pull from the inner depths of your soul and your crotchetal region. Now, listen, whoever the lady is who does Marge, I can do that because it's a smoker voice. So it's like,
Marge, I don't know what Marty has stepped into, but it's some kind of strange.
Homie, try to pull him out of there. He's never going to get out of the show on his own.
I'm trying, Marge. I'm trying. Marty, break free.
Indeed.
Very good. I like it.
Thank you. Thank you.
See, if you had known me earlier, you might have been a voice of a Marine or something. Who knows?
I could have been Sarge, darn it.
Been Sarge, yeah.
J Light Lady gifting 5 WDW Pro memberships, and with another 5, happy 200th show, Pro. Wow.
Thank you, J Light Lady. We really do appreciate you. Happy to see you out there in the audience.
Indeed. Packing Protons with the $5. A new 1 cent to Pro for the troll, Summer Sizzle.
Yes, the summer sizzle packing. We'll get to those maybe tomorrow during the show. I don't want to go too long tonight. So for the cause of expediency, we'll continue along.
Indeed. Sweet Sunshine Liz.
Ba, ba,
ba. There you go. With the 1999 super sticker. And thank you so much for...
By the way, the key is, for all of you who are listening, whatever he does, however he starts singing, we have to be in the key to do da, da, da. Otherwise, it doesn't work. So you got to listen before you do da, da, da. Okay.
By the way, Marty, is there truth? Do you know this to be true? Someone told me this, and I'm not sure about it. Someone told me that the Mario platformer games, to go back to the 2D stuff, they were so genius back in the late 80s, early 90s, that they actually set all of the sound effects to be in the same key, so that as you're playing the game, it goes right along with the soundtrack that's associated with the level you're in. Do you know if that's true?
Yeah, I've met Koji Kondo, who, believe it or not, is, I think, 2 years younger than I am. Koji did Mario and Zelda. He did the original Mario and the original Zelda. So I'm a big fan of Koji. And that would make sense to me. I'm pretty sure that's what they did. Yeah.
Well, there you go. Confirmed, folks. As close as we can get it.
Yeah, that's as close as I'll give you.
Indeed. And it looks like J Light Lady gifting 5 WDW Pro memberships as well again.
And J Light Lady, because on the East Coast we have now made our way to Tuesday, we'll celebrate you with a little bit of taco.
Let's take extra care to follow the instructions or you'll be put to sleep. And don't forget Taco Tuesday's coming next week. That's the day every rule-following citizen gets a free taco and my love.
There you go. Tacos for everybody out there. And lots of love. Kevin, you hanging in there, buddy? Are you going strong?
I'm going strong.
Kevin is hanging out with the man who made the music his father loves.
Kevin is still here for because of his dad. I think that's why Kevin is still here. That's
I love the approach. I'm currently in beautiful Topeka Dam, North Carolina.
Oh, so you're very late.
Yeah, I've learned a great lot about the town that saved America, but my days have been very long. So this is a vacation for me right now.
That's good. That's good.
All right. Well, stick with us like a plasminate on a warthog rushing across Blood Gulch. We're going to get you there. MartyForCongress.com, folks. We've got one more story to go. But before we hit it, I got to know, Marty, do you want to stick with us for the next story, or are you ready to bow out? Because we don't want to.
My wife has already gone to bed, and I got nothing else to do here in Santa Barbara, so I'm fine.
There you go. Who needs sleep?
Sort of a sad thing to say, but it's only 10 o'clock, so I'm fine.
Who needs sleep, ladies and gentlemen? Not Marty. All right, folks, let's hit the next story. It's the Fantastic Four. And Vash, if you remove, and we apologize for having to do this, but just temporarily remove MartyForCongress.com, and we'll bring up the next story right about now. All right, folks, take a look at this. It is out of Cosmic Book News. Matt McGloin, friend of the channel, on here writing the article, the headline, Fantastic Four booed at test screening. Wow. The attendee fires back. That's right. We've got a leaker. And here's what it says. A so-called attendee of the Fantastic Four First Steps test screening is pushing back against a recent online backlash, calling out misinformation and clarifying actually what happened inside the theater. With the news that Marvel is skipping Comic-Con, the trades have confirmed a secret screening of Fantastic Four First Steps was recently held at Regal Long Beach, attended by Kevin Feige and director Matt Shakman. Or is it Shackman? Inquiring minds want to know. Recent reports painted the Marvel reboot as a disaster in the making, with viral claims alleging that audience members were vocal or even screamed mid, which would be an insult amongst the new gen, following the movie. But now, someone claiming to be the original source of these stories has come forward to clarify what's real and what's been twisted. It says the test screener posted on social media stating that he shared a story on Discord about a guy next to him who calmly called the movie mid, which, for those of you learning the lingo and jingo of the new generation, that would be the opposite of chicken jockey. Not someone screaming at it or it at the screen like some insiders have claimed. Here's the official quote. No one screamed mid in the audience. There was a guy next to me sighing and flapping his hands around, which would also be a sign of some sort of mental issue. Folks, move one seat down the row if that happens to you. When the movie was over, I asked him his opinion. Again, not what we would recommend for a man flapping his arms during a movie. And he said it was mid. I told this story on Discord right after I left. Certain insiders have blown this story out of proportion, saying some lunatic screamed mid in the theater. This is 100% untrue. Folks, I don't care about any of this other than to say the test screening is now essentially confirmed. We've got the test screening confirmed. You all knew about this way before most. And guess what? Whatever is going on with people not liking the movie, the bottom line is people are apparently saying this is meh. Okay? M-E-H, not mid. It's meh. So Marvel can't afford a meh right now. Marvel in the MCU needs a big win. They've had 2 flops this year. They can't afford a 3rd flop. And by the way, there's plenty of money riding on Pedro Pascal as well as Sue Storm. And they need this movie to do well, or else Avengers Doomsday is in big, big trouble. Spoiler alert for those of you who care. Pause or mute it for a minute. Not a minute. 10 seconds. RDJ is going to be in the end credits, okay? He's going to be there as Dr. Doom. So if this film doesn't do good, if it doesn't do well, English teachers out there, see, A+ in that one. If it doesn't do well, then guess what? The audiences are not going to swell and go to the cinemas wanting to see Dr. Doom because they never saw him in Fantastic Four. There is going to be no hype machine anymore for Marvel if this film doesn't do well. They need this to overperform what the test screenings are showing thus far. Kevin, as a superhero aficionado, share with us your thoughts on what we're finding out from the test screenings.
Come on. Is anybody surprised? That's like saying the sun's coming up tomorrow. This movie is, I don't have the words to describe how uninteresting this movie seems to be. And I keep saying it, I can find more people talking about Fan 4 Stick than you can find talking about this movie. This is going to be a snooze fest upon snooze fest. This is like Eternals bad. Marvel has not had a hit since Endgame. I don't count Spider-Man. Half of the money went to Sony. We have been watching the Titanic sink for years. Mr. Feige decided to drown us in woke lunacy. He didn't learn the lesson because he's not the guy who should be steering the ship. And I guess they thought Peepaw was going to pull him over the finish line. Instead, he just punched another hole in the boat. You can't be shocked. Anytime you have a grown adult flapping their arms and being irritated, it tells you that the movie is a stinker. I'm not going to sit here and insult the guy for having a visceral reaction to something that he's very clearly a fan of. These studios have taken for granted the fact that, one, your fandom requires time, energy, and financial investment. The only expectation is quality. And when you stop giving people quality, when you keep treating them like garbage and you keep telling them that they're bad because they don't like your stuff, this is what you get. This is super Schadenfreude for me. I have no intention of seeing this movie. I know it's going to be terrible, but I will most certainly be here when we talk about it, and I will do a victory dance to the likes of, and I'll summon the Schadenfreude gods, and we'll have a party.
Kevin, I was going to tell you we're paying for you to go see the movie so you can review it. Hey, Marty, as the man who made the music behind Halo, you've never seen a franchise driven into the ground, have you?
No,
Never
I
seen
can
anything
imagine
subvert
that
the fans?
happening. You know, this reminds me of the time that Bungie as a crew, 30, 40 of us would go rent a movie theater to see we wouldn't rent the theater. We would just buy a bunch of tickets to go see a movie. We went and saw Star Wars. Was it episode 2 where Anakin Skywalker was a jerk when he was a teenager kind of guy?
Yeah.
And there was some scene where he's talking to Padme, whatever her name was. And he said, are you in as much pain as I am? And I screamed at the screen, I am. And so I know what it's like to be one of those people in the audience that screams at the movie. It was a horrible film. Pedro Pascal is an actor who I really like. I think he's good. I think he's solid. I honestly liked him in just about everything he's been in up until The Last of Us 2. I thought The Last of Us 1, he did a really good job. I liked his character. I liked The Last of Us as a game. The Last of Us 2, no, not so much. It was bad for all the reasons we know why. And The Last of Us 2 is bad. The problem with Pedro is not that he's a bad actor, but that we know what he thinks in real life. Like, you know what? Just act, Pedro. Like, you'll be in some good ones. You'll be in some stinkers. We can forgive you for the stinkers. But when you actually tell us that you believe the woke crap in real life, then we don't believe anything you do ever again. And
He's got Mark Hamill energy.
He's got Mark Hamill energy. It's a shame because, like, these are people I want to continue to like, and now I don't. So, yeah.
Well, we always wanted Mark Hamill to be more like Luke and less like the Joker, but that's not the hand we were dealt.
That's exactly right.
All right, Vash. So a lot of this stuff that was leaked out, and other YouTube channels were covering this. We covered it as well, but some of them were ahead of us on this, and so we've got to give some credit out there. Overlord DVD was doing a great job. Yellow Flash covering this as well. Vash, this is now basically confirmed. I mean, we've got the major outlets now saying that, we've moved on in terms of what is controversial away from the test screenings didn't go so well and that the test screenings exist to now, well, they weren't up there. They didn't boo in the middle of the film. That's not really what happened.
I bet you did.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and why the test screening issue is so profound and so important in this case is because Marvel doesn't usually do that. As I think Marvin Montanaro, our editor-in-chief over there at That Bark Place, has illustrated before, usually the company is more confident in their films and their releases. But this is such a pivotal film for the MCU, especially right now with we call it superhero fatigue around these parts right here, but this kind of bad movie fatigue that's set in, especially with this specific franchise, they have to get this right. And no surprise that a test screening took place, given the film of this magnitude right here. And that's kind of what we've been hearing from a lot of different places and sources, people who are familiar with the film and what's going to be featured in it. I don't have a lot of confidence or enthusiasm surrounding this film. So I honestly not surprised, as Kevin astutely pointed out right there. This film really needs to hit on so many different levels. And I believe Exhibitor Relations just had like a poll on Twitter. I understand Twitter's not a real place and it's not the largest sample size, but of the films that were featured on that poll, they were asking, which one are you most excited for? And I think of the three, I think the other one was Jurassic World with starring Scarlett Johansson. It's going to be released.
Yeah. Jurassic World 17, whatever they're on.
I Rebirth, and then Superman and Fantastic Four. I think Fantastic Four was number 3, and it was a low, very, very low 3 to be featured there. Just there is no excitement for this film. It looks extremely mid, at least from what we've seen in the trailers and so forth. So really no surprise that not only did the reshoots not reshoots, but the test screenings actually took place, but also to the reaction that we've been hearing so far.
That's right. This is why James Gunn is playing this well on the Superman deal, not getting into a tit for tat, but rather saying, you know what? I'm going to tip my hat to them. I used to work for them, And we're all positivity. We're here. We're rainbows and sunshine, not those rainbows, these rainbows. Why? Because Superman's going to do just fine. It's going to fly high. Fantastic Four, now the one that is being questioned as to how many audience members are going to come through that door. Superman closing in on an estimated $200 million domestic debut opening. Could be 175, could be 150, but those are starting to move northward. Fantastic Four looking shakier by the day. So, folks, the superhero genre could be going away, or DC could save it, but don't expect Fantastic Four to be the thing that brings audiences back to Cape Crusaders once more. All right, folks, that's the story when it comes to Fantastic Four. Panel, any final thoughts before we go away from this one? Marty.
Yes, I got one thing. When I hear those numbers, it makes me laugh a little bit, because back in 2004, dollars, I think Halo 2's day one sales was $250 million.
Well, we all had to drive the tank over the bridge, man. I mean, come on. It was in the advertising.
I'm just saying, like, when I hear these numbers from these Hollywood folks, I'm like, yeah, whatever.
You let us drive a Banshee, okay? What else are we going to do? By the way, folks, that's why we say over and over, if Disney is the big kahuna of the box office, it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. Why? Because the video game industry is something like 14 times larger than the theater biz.
I don't know if that's true, but it's yeah, I agree. That's pretty cool.
I heard it on Wikipedia. It must be true. All right, folks, that's where we'll leave it, but we'll continue to keep you updated when it comes to Fantastic Four and the other movies coming your way. All right, Vash, let's wrap up these super chats. And then, folks, it has been a phenomenal 200th episode. We want to thank Marty O'Donnell for stopping by, bypassing the producer system we usually have. He just said, I'm on here, darn it, and here he is. Also, Kevin Apollo staying up with that Peepaw Power. Marty, if you don't know what Peepaw Power is, let me just tell you, it's really confusing. Marty, they have tried, there's a PR firm out there trying to get people to be excited about Pedro Pascal.
Oh, there you go.
For the past 5 years, they've been trying over every article, like over and over. You'll see these, the drive-bys, they'll call him the internet's daddy, okay? Well, in the last year, they've switched that because he's crossed 50. And apparently somebody somewhere has decided that's too old now to be the internet's daddy. So they literally, what trade organization was it, guys? Was it Variety that called him?
I think it was Variety.
Variety said he had Peepaw Power. And I just said, you got to be kidding. Like, this is where we are, Peepaw Power.
Hey, let me just say, look at me. I'm the internet daddy, okay? There you go.
That's right. Who's your daddy?
There you go.
That's it, Marty.
I'd have been your daddy, but that dog beat me over the fence.
Send your daddy to Congress, Nevada. Send him.
Right.
Oh boy, the Jinx won with the $4.99. It sounds like the FF movie will be Mary Sue Storm and her Invisible 3.
I like it, Mary Sue Storm. That's a sticker. That's going to stay.
That's it. Sweet Sunshine Liz.
Da, da, da. Oh, you guys are chicken now. You're chicken because you feel like you won't be in the right key.
It's
Follow
not
my lead. You'll be fine.
It's not the key. It's the delay. That's what kills us every time.
Yes, with the 1989 cheers, and then cheers there. Thank you so much for that, Chris, with the 100 Danish crowns.
You got it.
Yep. Let's make 100 more green. And
10 more. Although if Chris had said 100, we would go along with that as well. We wouldn't stop him.
Yes. I gifted 10 WDW Pro memberships as well.
Thank you, Chris. You're helping us take on the monsters of Hollyweird.
As a duly designated representative of the city, county, and state of New York, I order you to cease any and all supernatural activity and return forthwith to your place of origin or to the nearest convenient parallel dimension. That ought to do it. Thanks very much, Ray.
Thank you, Chris.
Good stuff. John Corner with the $2. Pray the gray away, gents. Wow.
That's clever. I like it.
It's pretty good. Doge with the $5. 8 levels. 1 Disney Animation, 2 Pixar, 3 Disney Live Action, 4 Disney Channel, 5 Marvel, 6 Star Wars / Lucasfilm, 7 ESPN, Final Stage, ABC. Oh.
I see. The stages of wokeism. I would put Pixar farther down the list. I'll tell you.
Yeah, I would say so, especially recently. here. William Thompson with the
Is that like
$2.
Dante's Inferno? Is that what those levels are? What was
Yeah, it could be, yes. Yeah.
Indeed. That's exactly.
Yeah,
William
Disney's
Thompson with $2.
Inferno.
Can we have the comic book clip, please, WDW Pro?
Well, Bill Thompson, we'll play it at the end. We don't want to hold everybody too long, but we'll play it at the end. We'll play the comic book. Marty, it's a thing where we mock some of the less scrupulous ways of making money on YouTube.
Ah, like
Yeah,
not-
we'll
it
play it at
doesn't
the end.
include your channel.
Oh, no. Stalwart's all here.
Luke Liederbach with the $2. So Jonas is finally starting his Jedi Academy.
Yeah, he's been swatting at Darth Vader at Disneyland for years now. He's ready.
Indeed. William Thompson with the $2. But for me, it was Tuesday.
But for me, it was Tuesday.
That's right. Tuesday is blooming all across the fruited plains of the United States.
Indeed. Mary Vita with the $4.99. School's up for summer. Unfortunately, my aunt is hospitalized, so all prayers are welcome, please. Oh, yes.
School's out for the summer.
Maravita sending you good vibes and prayers for your auntie.
Thank you, Marty, for that. Jack White with the $5. It's not superhero fatigue. It's woke leftist fatigue. That's what people are tired of.
Yes, I agree. Totally agree with that.
Yeah. The Dead Man gifting one WDW Pro membership.
Which is impressive for the dead man.
Indeed. Jack White with the $5. This is what the Italian Marxist Antonio Gramsci advocated for in his prison notebooks, Subvert Institutions.
There you go. Right after you read the Archipelago, folks, move on to that one if you want a real dose of a world tour of trauma.
What? The Dead Man coming back here.
Don't make fun of Alexander Solzhenitsyn. That's not good.
I never would. No. That would be more than a Jungian mistake.
Yeah, very good. Okay.
Dead Man with the $5. Bro, would you care if I promoted my channel? If so, I would send another super chat to do so.
The Dead Man, can we do it tomorrow? I love you. Honestly, we love all of you, but we got to get out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Your super chats, you're just so generous tonight. The gratuitous nature of your kindness overwhelms.
Indeed. Jack White with the $5. Manga recommendations grants The Revenge of My Youth. Cool.
Is this the real Jack White? That's pretty cool. Play some guitar.
Of course. And we really have the real Lou Wasserman's, just Lou Wasserman. Marty, Marty, it's the 200th episode and you've never been here before. I got to tell you this story real fast. This is a quick one.
Okay.
We have a guy, he's so prolific in Hollywood that what we do is we put it on here with an avatar and we give him a code name, and that way he doesn't get in trouble in Hollywood. I know.
It for me. Now I'm completely exposed.
I know. Right. Well, we should have warned you. But okay, so he took on the name Lou Wasserman's Ghost.
Okay.
Okay, and so that's what he's been doing. Well, Lou Wasserman has been passed away for a long time.
Yes.
The Pro Show, which is the show we're doing right now, and on the daytime as well, it's listed on IMDb. Lou Wasserman suddenly started having credited to his name post-mortem for decades that he's appearing on the Pro Show. We didn't mean to do this. It's one of the funniest things that anybody has shown to us is that, did you know that Lou Wasserman, who has all of these, massive movies and shows to his name, is appearing on your channel, Pro?
That's pretty cool. I love that.
Yeah, a little mistake we made.
Is he related to Lou Wasserman Schultz?
That's a good one.
Do you know who Debbie Wasserman?
I've heard she's hiding out in Florida somewhere.
Yes, there you go.
Would you
She's
want to?
She's got great hair, by the way.
She loves.
I can hardly wait. If I get to Congress, I'm going to make fun of all these people every day that I'm there. Just that's another reason to vote for me.
Yeah. Right there's Lou. Oh no! Don't show it. We're gonna lose it now. Oh, he's appearing on the Pro Channel now. Oh darn! Lou Wasserman. So there you go. Hey, scroll down just a minute. Scroll down a little bit. Let's see what was he doing before he started appearing on our channels.
Oh gosh, are you kidding? Lou Wasserman is one of the power brokers of Hollywood for years.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Anyway, the Reagans. Okay, so that's where it stops with the real stuff.
Yeah. Archival footage, though. I love the.
There you go.
Inclusion right there. Let's see. Take Al with the $2. Pro read. Well, go ahead.
Commence Operation Vacuum Jonas.
Now, commence Operation Vacuum Suck.
There you go.
Indeed. And last but certainly not least, Butterbumps gifting 20 WDW Pro memberships.
Thank you, Butterbumps. It's a great way to end the show. In all of feudal Japan, only one bull had the power to explode a sumo with his hooves. Butterbumps. There you go.
I would have said last, but we got two more. Jack White with the $2 serious
By the
recommendation.
way, that sounded pro like your voiceover. Am I correct?
Oh, no, I would. No, surely not. Not me.
Series recommendation, sort of the Demon Hunter. Thank you so much for that. And Jack White with another $5. You should just call them all criminals when you get there, because that's what most of them are.
But Marty will not evolve into such a thing. And Vash, that surely that wasn't me. We hired that out, right? We put that out there, that we had work orders. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, we put the Cassian call out there. We got somebody that really did a phenomenal job right there doing that to accent.
Well, actually, I didn't think it was that good, but there you go.
Man, that's a stinger for whoever did the voice. Luckily, it wasn't me. Marty, tell the folks out there one last time. Tell them about this website you've got going on.
So martyforcongress.com. That's where you can go to support me in my goal to get to Congress and show those bozos in DC what for.
There you go, folks. And as we always say, as we end the show, remember, when playing Capture the Flag on any of those classic maps, set it so that you have to have your own team's flag at the base. Anything else is just weak sauce. All right, folks, until tomorrow. Oh, wait, it's already then. We'll see you soon, friends. 4 times a day, every day, right here on the Pro Channel.
Hello there and hi there from Quick Buck Comics. We've been watching as companies like Disney, Warner Brothers, and Universal all universally suck. And then we watched as companies like Rippaverse and Big Man Comics came in to save the day. That's when we realized we could make crappy comics and do it the cheap way, by not doing the hard work that Rippaverse and Big Man Comics were doing. We've got characters like John Maynor, William Thompson, and Staccato DDS. Why? Because we stole them from the WDW Pro audience. Because making characters is hard. And by the end of every comic, you get to draw your own panels. Why? Because art is hard. But please, folks, when you're done, make sure to buy our coffee that's made by someone else with our label slapped on it. Why? You guessed it. Making coffee is hard.
The mainstream media just can't understand how it is we continue to do what we do. They don't realize that we are powered by you, and you are...
1.21 gigawatts! 1.21 gigawatts!
Folks, we've still got decades and decades left in the can. It drives the mainstream mad.
Would it make you feel any better if you knew that what we're asking Matt here to do is a holy thing?
You see, we're on a mission from God. We're on a mission from God.
Now you're gonna put me right back in the joint.
They're not gonna catch us. We're on a mission from God.
So, folks, as we always say, as we end each and every show here, and we mean it, keep learning, keep growing, and as always, keep having fun.
Every time they hit him, he stood back up again. So they hit him harder. Still, he got back to his feet. Standing man.